What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. I hope everybody is having a magnificent Monday. Hope everything in the world is going in your favor. All you wonderful denizens, you degenerates, you den folk. Tonight we're going to talk about the LGBT. Why LGBT is not a black issue. All right. And we're going to speak on this, and there's just some things that we have to address, and people get upset with you when you don't agree with everything that they say. But hey, who gives a shit? But first, let's get into the proper protocols, man. Y'all know how this goes. Y'all know how this operates. I want to thank you for joining me this evening and allowing me to be your happy host. I am Ed Honcho. And again, this is the Den Show. Also, if you want to follow me on my personal social medias, you can catch me at Honcho HTX on Twitter and Instagram. That's just that. And if you want to follow the Den Show on all the proper socials, make sure you go to @DenShowLive on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/DenShowLive. If you want to like the Facebook page, there's also a Facebook group for those of you who still use Facebook. I'm not going to say it's only us old folks who use Facebook. So, hey, if you want to join the Facebook group, the link should be in the description below. And I will try to post it in the stream at some point in time. If you want to contact the Den when we're not live, 833-284-3336. Again, that number, the easy way to remember is 833-2, the words the Den is the easy way to remember that. If you ever want to share a topic, shoot me some info. You can also do that at denshowlive@gmail.com if you want to shoot an email. Tell a friend about the Den by telling them to go to thedenshow.com. If you want to catch it live like we are right now, thedenshow.com/live. If you want to donate to the Den, shout out to everybody who's been supporting the Den since day one. Streamlabs.com/the Den Show is the way that you can do that. I appreciate all the love as we continue on this journey to build the best conversation on the internet. It's about growth and progress, and getting out the garage. Eventually I want to get this thing where we have some guests and things, and I don't think they want to come in this old hot ass garage, but that's for future conversation. And if you want to support the Den monthly, and I told you guys what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to have a Discord. It's going to be connected to the Patreon for the monthly supporters, patreon.com/the Den Show. And I think I got to look at what the tiers are. I think it's on the $5 tier. So if you pledge like $5 a month, I'll have a Discord to where, we can chop it up all day long, 24/7 Den action almost. And the thing about Discord is, like I say, you can talk on there, you can chat if you want to just text. If you actually want to speak, I think they have push to talk, share pictures, memes, things like that. And I think it'd be a very interesting way of keeping in communication with all the Den folk, even when we're live or not live. And there's going to be some other things I'm going to do with the Discord, but we'll wait until that actually starts to grow. So if you want to be a part of that, go to patreon.com/DenShowLive. I think that tier is going to start at $5 a month. Also offer like producer credits and things like that in the videos, depending, like I said, there's different sections you can choose from. So shout out to Steven Starry, and I appreciate the Patreon support. Now, let's get into the conversation, right? But before we get into the conversation, we're going to talk about the most important thing happening in the Den, and that is you Den folk, you Den degenerates, all of you amazing, wonderful people who join every night. And I mean that. Like, I'm not just saying that just to be saying. I really think that you guys are great. The variety of backgrounds, the variety of personalities, beliefs, and the fact that we can all come together and really have a legitimate conversation, whether we agree, disagree, the different input, the different calls. Some of y'all a little crazy, but I like crazy. Some of y'all are very on point, and this just the willingness to come out and share your story. I just gotta say thank y'all for that. But let's see who we have joining us this evening. Jason S, Culture the Nubis, Miss Jack Tripper, what's the motherfucking deal? V Darko, Vici, Jared Key, Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? Debo, Tony Yayo, Bell Southern Style, what's the motherfucking deal? Sweet Berry, G Money, what's the motherfucking deal? Rashida Reed, Miss Thang, let me see. Tony Turtle, what's the motherfucking deal? McVice, that's always nice. Wise, Cartier, what's the motherfucking deal? James Harden. Let me see if I look, Jack. If I missed you, I ain't dish you. It is what it is. But let's Eastside Hero, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Look, let's talk about some things, right? Let's talk about some things. Some issues that I want to discuss. Let me make sure y'all know I got like 50 different notebooks, so let me make sure I got the right one, because I jotted down a couple of things. Not everything that I want to, but there's a couple of points I want to make sure that I did make. Heidi. And I saw Heidi there. Did I overlook Heidi? Or am I tripping? I might have, I'm tiger blind. I thought I saw some. Yeah, there it is. I don't know why. Oh, it's because the moderation thing. I think sometimes I overlook it. So no deliberate overlooking. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I did. Who knows? But what's the motherfucking deal to everybody? So let's talk about it, right? There's so many different issues going on in the world today, depending on whether you lean left, lean right, independent, and I feel like I'm independent. I may lean a little bit, but LGBT rights issues are seemingly pushed to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Or seemingly pushed to the forefront nowadays. We had Cake Gate or whatever that was a while back, where the place, they didn't want to make the gay marriage cake, but it turns out those people deliberately did that, because they knew that was supposed to be a Christian venue, and they didn't really support that type of stuff. You have a lot of these things that are happening where people are deliberately giving additional attention to instances involving the LGBT community, and I find it odd, right? This is my first issue, my first question. I don't want to say issue. My first question with the LGBT discussion. Why is this all lumped into one thing? So I would think that lesbians have a different issue than gays, and have a different issue than bisexual, than what is sexual, transgender, whatever. I don't know which one it is. And then there's some other additional letters. Like, as I was looking up some things, it was I, Q, A. What is a queer? Like, what does queer mean? Like, I don't. It's from what I remember, you call somebody queer, it's an insult. But now it's like a label, right? So I don't understand everything that's going on. Hey, Broderick makes great cakes. You watch your mouth, Heidi. Bacon Broderick. But no, seriously though, I don't understand what all of the, it's all different, right? Non-mainstream, historically derogatory. Exactly. It was historically derogatory. Now it's a label. Right now it's okay. So is queer like niggas? Like, when black folks took niggas and turned it into a cool thing. Now is queer like, is that what that is? You know what I'm saying? So cisgender is a label that the LGBT community made up because there's labels to what they believe in. So they made labels for straight people. Cisgender is not a real thing. It's not a thing. So Montero, what's the motherfucking deal? So the thing about it, Broderick Brooks, what's the motherfucking deal? Are you a cake boss, Broderick? Do you make cakes? I don't know. Somehow a rumor has gotten started that you make, you're a baker man. Exactly. I've never even seen this definition. I agree with it already. Exactly. So it's a made up thing that tries to tell you that because you are attracted to procreation, that you're a weirdo. Anyway, but like I said, I don't understand once the letters, because I think there's an A in there somewhere. I think they're trying to add pedophiles to it and all that other stuff. It's just so crazy, right? And here's why I say I disassociate, or not disassociate, but I don't get it, right? And people say, well, it's not sexualizing anything when you talk about it. Yeah, it is, because you're talking about your sexual preference. You're talking about who you like to get intimate with. That's how you identify yourself based on primarily who you like to get intimate with, which means that it's sexual, point blank period. I mean, that's it. There's no other definition of it. There's no, well, I'm a lesbian, so life is just so much harder than me. The only reason it's different is because you choose to put your bedroom behaviors out in the middle of in public. And so people may find that odd, people may find it difficult, or because most people aren't attracted or interested in what you got going on, so they don't engage you. But what a lot of people are doing nowadays is they're taking these issues, right? They're making it seem like it's a civil rights issue, and then they're applying it, and they're trying to combine, especially on the left, far left especially, they're trying to combine it with black issues or historically black issues, because there's a lot of black issues I think that people are sweating that aren't really issues anymore. I think the black issue has become more economic than anything, and if we focus more on economics, then I think we'd have some better results in certain areas, but we'll get to that. Just Sarah, what's the motherfucking deal? Debo, what's the motherfucking deal? And this is not to say that I don't have a problem with anybody who is LGBT. I don't care. That's really what it is. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care what you choose to do. But like I say, when it comes to the kids, when it comes to this other stuff, and you're sexualizing these children because you're making them talk about sexuality. I mean, that is what it is. I mean, that's what the fuck it is. When you're talking about, oh, well, he's gay, then you're talking about his sexual preferences. It's not about his behavior. You can have feminine traits, and be gay, or you could say he has masculine traits and still be gay. A woman could have masculine traits and be, still straight. It's when you start getting these labels, it's about sexuality. There's no other definition. There's no other definition that you can apply to a man thinks, what's the motherfucking deal? There's no other definition that you can apply to this whole thing other than it is sexual. Now, where I start to become frustrated with this is, as you guys have seen, I did a video recently on the Dwayne Wade kid thing. That's actually turned out to be one of the better performing videos outside of the original Jesse Smollett video. I did another one about the transgender Morehouse issue, right? And these just happen to be black issues tied into, or not necessarily, the Dwayne Wade kid is more of a kid's issue, but the Morehouse thing, it's more of Morehouse is a male university, if you don't know, and now they're starting to allow trans men in there. I get confused with the whole thing, right? And so basically you're telling women, people that are born with vaginas are good enough. You might as well just let women in, right? And like Prepaid Mike had called and said, hey, Morehouse is spelling right across from each other in Atlanta, of course. If you're born with a vagina, why you can't just go across the road? And when I say this opens up a lot of odd things, because now you're talking about you got people who are saying they originally went to Morehouse as a man, now they're transitioning. Well, it was a male university before you decided that you were a woman, right? And now they're not accepting me. It's not accepting of the culture. It doesn't make any sense. Again, these are people who are making bad personal decisions and then trying to make the world acquiesce to what they want. Like, you have to, you have to adjust. And again, like I say, and I noticed that, Sweet Berry. So what I'm saying is that now it seems like it's so overwhelmingly on these that attached to these black issues. And I'm not saying it's not happening everywhere else, but it just seems like there's always some kind of black face attached to anything gay, lesbian, and then you have so many black people coming to the defense of this. Now, let's talk about a few things and how I feel about this. I may be a little bit energized by this one. Black women, right? Let's talk about black women for a second. I think black women are the biggest supporters of this. And I'm not saying all, but as a whole. And why I think it's most detrimental is because black women, you have an issue. You have a problem. And your big problem is that you say there's no good black men out there, right? They're all in jail. They've all left for the white women, or whatever else you want to call it, right? There's always these different reasons, right, why there's no good black men. Well, to me, it almost seems like black women are the biggest supporters of this transgender, this gay, or whatever. They always have these gay friends. Well, those were men at some point. So those are men that are taken out of your pool, right? You have, and I'm gonna mention what you said there, Heidi. What you said. That's very important. You have the transgenders. They're wanting what you want. They want your hair. They want to go hit. They hitting the hair store, getting all the hair. They want to fuck with the men that you fuck with. So they're your competition, but you support them, right? You have a lot of these different things going on that make it detrimental for you to have a better selection when it comes to men. And I'm not saying women, I'm just saying as a whole, I see a lot of black women come to the fight, come to the forefront and, defending this. But at the same time, they backdoor and say, well, there's no good black men, there's no good this. Well, you can't encourage these behaviors, right? And then expect everything to be hunky-dory, especially in America where we make up a small percentage of things, right? Okay, cool, right? You have to discourage this behavior. You can't embrace it. And I hate to say that. I'm not trying to make it sound like be exclusionary, because like I say, it's not about excluding anyone. People are what they choose to be. It is what they are, but you can't promote this behavior. Oh, such and such, he's so fierce. RuPaul's and all this other stuff. Like, you can't support this kind of behavior, these makeup men and all this type of shit. And then, turn around and say this, either you one way or the other, either you not with it or you are with it. I mean, you can't have the best of both worlds, right? That's just how that goes. Now, because you're the ones who are suffering the most. If lesbians are going lesbian, and it's a lot of that in the black community too, but ultimately, I don't think that's the same ball game. I really don't. I think it's different, honestly. And what I mean by that is, if you're looking for a butch, mannish type lesbian, now there ain't no lesbian gonna outdo me, right? It's just like, say, if I want you, I'm gonna have you. Nah, but all jokes aside, we gotta stop pushing forth these behaviors. Now, Heidi said something about historically, they've said black women are emasculated. I don't know how true that is. There are levels, I have seen it, but I think about that because I start thinking about a lot of these households where you have single parents, single moms maybe that have boys, and they may be angry at men for the way they've been treated, the way they've been done, and maybe they want to soften up their sons. Is that they're encouraging this. Oh, he's fierce. You got I remember years ago seeing the babies fucking twerking and shit. Like, if a man is in the household, then none of these behaviors would be acceptable. Vincent, what's the motherfucking deal, man? And Kelly Cole, what's the motherfucking deal? These behaviors would not be acceptable. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's a lot of stuff where you got to separate your entertainment, and entertainment plays a big role in it. You have to separate your entertainment, and you have to separate your life and understand what is more important. And if you embrace certain aspects of entertainment that are detrimental to the way you're actually living and detrimental to the outcome of your lifestyle, then maybe you need to let go of some of that entertainment. But getting back to it, but like I say, a lot of this is tied in. I know some of y'all remember Chicago Mike, right? He said something a long time ago. One of the first times he called, he said something about raising his kid like a strong black mom. He talked about how black people paved the way, even for other races, with the civil rights movements and things like that, right? Now, they don't take advantage of any of it, but it is what it is. And other groups are now using that as a platform to promote themselves. And I think that's part of the reason now that the gays, the LGBT community feels like they're in this civil rights fight, and hey, well, black people, let's associate ourselves with this. My problem is I don't have an issue with anybody feeling like they need to be treated a certain way. Now, I can't tell you how you feel. You determine how you are treated. That's the way life works, right? The thing is, you need to make your own way, your own lane. As a black person, I can't go get the Revillalago, the Michael J. What is it? The Villalago. I can't go get that. I'm not gonna do the Sammy Sosa. I'm not gonna do all these things. When I step outside, I can put on a suit, I could put on a t-shirt, I could put on whatever, right? You're gonna see me as a black man. It doesn't matter. Makeup and everything else, black man. Regardless of how you feel about what else that stuff. I'm a black man. You don't know anything about my sexual preferences unless I open up and tell you, hey, you know, I like banging big booty bitches all night long. Okay, well, this nigga like fucking with hoes. Okay, whatever else. So when you put yourself out there, it's because you're putting your sexuality in the street. And then you're getting judged by that or whatever else it may be. It has nothing to do with how you look. Because there's a lot of men who like women, they just kind of feminine. You know, it is what it is. But doesn't necessarily mean that gay. You got motherfuckers you question like, that nigga, they're kind of soft, but you know, I ain't gonna just say it, but he might be. There's motherfuckers you gonna kind of question their behaviors. But if you, as a gay man or lesbian woman or whatever, you go out, even if you wear, you know, maybe not the most feminine clothes, you wear some jeans and whatever else. When you start fading your hair and doing all this other shit and trying to look as mannish as you can, then people are gonna make assumptions. But there is no way that you can tell somebody is gay, that you can tell somebody is any of that stuff, unless they put themselves out there in a sexual manner. They throw their sexuality out there in the street. Most people naturally assume you're straight, and I could see where they may feel like that's oppressive, but not really. You know what I'm saying? But you know, nobody's out there necessarily bashing, but because you're not seeing representation, because you're not questions anybody to use dog filters, you should. Any nigga that's out there using heart filters, dog filters, cat faces, Snapchat filters, question them. Question all their behaviors. But my thing is, I don't have any hate. I don't have any like Jesse Smollett. Let's talk about Jesse Smollett. If he wasn't so much advocating, like I said, I've never seen Empire, so I wouldn't know. But if he was just a regular dude walking around, I wouldn't know anything about his sexuality. Unless he came out and just made it a big deal, like, here, in your face, you gotta appreciate my sexuality. You gotta appreciate me being gay. Like, why? What is that a thing? Why can't you take that to your bedroom, enjoy what you enjoy? When you open your door and you walk back out here, you acting just like all the rest of us. Like, you know, it's funny because, you know, I think back to all the events where niggas used to wild out, your Kappas, your what is it, Freaknik, they got the family friendly Freakniks coming up, those beach parties and things like that. Yeah, that was a time people used to wild out. You still have beach parties now where people be wilding out and doing all kind of crazy shit, but everything is frowned and looked down upon. There now, it's if you do anything, you try to embrace a woman, you try to go, oh, now they're sexualized, they're attacking her, they're doing it. But yet these gays have these big street parties with all of the whole LGBT. They have these big street parties. Apparently, people are fucking in the streets, and somebody was talking about people reaching in pockets and doing all a lot of this other shit, and it's okay. You know, nobody condemns that. Nobody has an issue with that. But yet, when straight people are out having their little festivities and their fun, it's a bad deal. So my thing is, why? Why is all of this changing? Why is society trying to embrace it? Why are they trying to attach the gay agenda to the black agenda? Because there's always some blackface at the forefront. Like I say, look at Jesse, look at the D Wade kid, look at the RuPauls of the world. And I'm not saying that there aren't others, but how in a community that is a small percentage, you know, what, less than about a sixth or so, I'm guesstimating, of the population, why do we have such a big gay population? Why is that? Why is it so significantly gay? Or why, you know, when apparently the gays or that whole community is supposed to be less than 1%, right? You know what I'm saying? So why is it? Why do we embrace this more than anyone else? And again, it's a lot to fucking think about. But let me see. And here's part of it. Here's something too. And I'm gonna talk about everybody, because, you know, hey, like, everybody gets shot. Everybody's, you know, innocent bystander. Everybody, you come in here, everybody getting hit. That's just the den. Ain't nobody better than anybody else. We all got flaws. I got flaws. Y'all got flaws. We all got issues. But we as black folks, one, are already overly sexualized. I mean, we over sexualize everything. Let's just be honest, right? From the music to the TV to the everything. That's what gets you. See some ass, you see something that's sexually attractive to you. Now you're paying attention. We over sexualize everything. So now when it comes to alternative sexual lifestyles, they become over sexualized and over promoted. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see this so much in the community, like in the black community. That's why I say you see the most extreme shit happening. You know what I'm saying? And to me, like I say, and if you don't agree, if you say, hey, I don't agree with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm hating you. I just don't agree with it. Now you're talking hate speech. What I'm doing right now is considered hate speech. I don't hate anybody. I don't have an issue with anybody. But what I'm doing right now is considered by many groups hate speech. Yeah, I saw the Don Lemon. You need to be an ally. I'm not an ally. Okay? I'm not a gay ally. I'm not your enemy, but I'm not your ally. I'm just social commentary on what I see going on in the world around me. I'm not an ally for a lot of shit niggas be up to doing now these days. So how the fuck I'm gonna be an ally for some shit that I don't support? But that's the problem nowadays is motherfuckers try to push this idea. Everything is acceptable. Everybody's okay. Everybody's equal. No, the fuck it's not. People who work harder are better. I mean, it is what it is. If you worked hard to establish your position in life and do better than the next man, you're better than the next man. Like it is what it is. That's my point. That's how I feel. And there's people that I say I'm better than, and there's people I feel are better than me. And people don't like to hear you say these things. We're not all fucking equal. We're not all fucking equal. I don't believe it, and I never will. If I don't do anything, if I fucking lay out on the couch all fucking day while somebody else is busting their ass 12 hours a day, or somebody's, created a business where they're feeding families and helping people take care of their families and do good, they're better than me. Point blank, period. It's not about, they just got so much money and that. No, it's not. Well, they worked hard to get their money. Even if it was passed down in their family, somebody in that family worked hard to get them in that position. Nobody in your family did that. So some people are better than others. And I'm okay with that. And as soon as you realize that, you can be one of those people, or you can decide to be who you want to be. But that's just something that you have to embrace. It's something you have to fucking acknowledge. But anyway, I'm kind of getting away from what I want. It's just my deal with this is I want to separate the issues. I'm not saying that gays don't have whatever issues they have. I'm not necessarily familiar with what it is. And I was looking at the messages right before this, Jay Dizzle. No, I didn't. But I knew you was going. I knew it was coming. But gays have whatever issues they have, but it's not my issue. But like I say, I'm not gonna throw a fucking roadblock in front of them. I'm not gonna hit them with the Mario Kart blue shell. I'm not gonna knock them out of position if they've earned something. I'm not gonna do that. But at the same time, I'm not going to embrace it. I'm not going to say, hey, I got my own issues, but these people got issues. Let me get 100%. No, fuck that. I'm trying to fix what I got going on. And that's just what it is. And for people who are of like mind, people who are trying to move forward. I got accused of, again, oppressing people, and this doesn't make sense to me, right? Because people oppress people. That's just kind of what happens, but I'm not oppressing anybody. But what I mean by that is somebody came and commented on one of the videos. Then I'm going to open up the line here in just a second, before I ain't going to spill all the conversation. I'm going to open up the line so y'all have time to call in here in just a minute. But somebody said I was oppressing. Well, because you're black and we've been so oppressed, that finally that we've got rights, you would think that we wouldn't oppress other groups. What the fuck does that have? What does that have to do with anything? And one, I don't wake up feeling fucking oppressed. Like that's the first thing that people don't get. And when you say stuff like that, now you're cooning because of everything. My life, my feelings are not going to coincide directly with anybody else's. They're not going to match up with anybody else's because I feel like I have power in my life. And what I mean by that, every bad decision I made or everything that's gone wrong with me, when I look back in my life, I see where I impacted myself. I go back and I look, and I can't see a point in my life where I could say that someone held me back other than me holding myself back. Nobody has ever made me do anything I did not want to do. People have encouraged me throughout my life to do better. I may not have made those choices. I cannot think of an instance where somebody cock blocking in the literal sense, these niggas, partners supposed to be, but as far as block me from an opportunity that I could ever see. Never, not once. Anytime that I put my all into anything, so I don't feel that I understand what my predecessors, ancestors have gone through to get to this point. And I'm not sitting here saying that everything was perfect for them. No, it was a lot of shit that they went through for me to be able to sit here and say this. And that's what people are still focused on what happened back then and not looking at the opportunity that's available now. And the sky's the fucking limit. We're still worried about, this, that, and the third. Yeah, there's still shit happening. I've seen the shit, and we can talk about the Broward County shit, and we can talk about all this other shit going on, but you gotta look at shit individually. You gotta look at shit for what the fuck it is. And what kills me is we're always trying to tie something else into something else. Because even like I say, when I talked about old buddy pushing the kid, the first thing that happened, everybody wants to say is, well, if it was turned around, it'd be a hate crime. Well, it's not turned around. This is an instance in itself. This is a man with a mental illness who was looking for any victim the other day. If you have proof that it was racially motivated, show me the proof and I'll say, hey, this was racially motivated. Show me the facts. But no one has shown me facts that it was racially motivated. All you can tell is this man who's had a history of mental illness, legally and everything else, did a sick fucking thing. But I can't sit here and say, oh, he was targeting a white kid to he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was mad because he was getting rejected by females. So women, it's your fault that it happened. I'm just fucking with y'all. But you can't tell me it was racially motivated. Now, as opposed to somebody you show who is linked to hate groups and doing all this other stuff, and then, well, you just a lone wolf. This guy was a lone. This is the fucking definition of a lone wolf. But yet, we got to get out these feelings, man. And I think a lot of the LGBT stuff is feelings. A lot of the blacks who were supporting it are feeling, well, we used to be oppressed. Let's not oppress. Man, fuck that. That ain't got shit to do with what we got going on over here. And you got to separate. Like, if you are black and LGBT, you got to pick which issues you're supporting at what time. You can't push the LGBT on the black. Let me get this 2-for-1 deal. Let me go ahead and push the LGBT agenda onto this black thing so I can protest, two at once, and so I can do half the work. If you got black issues, fuck with the black issue. You got, LGBT issues, fuck with those. But don't try to overlap them and then make it seem like because I'm not supporting this, because it has nothing to do with me, that I'm the bad guy. Anyway. I'm gonna open up the line. I want to know what you guys feel. I want to know what you guys think. Give me just a second here. Let me get everything. I'll pop the number up here. Hey man, if y'all loving the conversation, man, like I said, we got a goal we trying to reach, and I'm gonna start promoting this much tougher. We got a goal we trying to reach because I definitely want to take the Den to the next level along with you guys, and I appreciate all the love and support. So hey man, if you want to support the Den, hit that streamlabs.com/the Den Show. The super chats will be cut off until we reach the goal, just because of the way YouTube handles certain things. Again, I mentioned that I'll be doing something different with the Discord for the Patreon supporters. So consider joining the patreon.com/the Den Show. Because like I say, it's no more playing around with the Den. It's no more playing around with the sauce, man. Like, I feel like we got something special. We got a special community here, and I really want to push this to the next level. I really want to take this where it needs to be, because I think there's conversations that need to be had, and I think people are afraid to have these conversations. Let me open up this dilly dally, and but the thing about it is, like I said, but with the Discord thing, is going to be able to open up to where, like I say, we'll be able to. It's like a kind of like a chat app, but again, like I say, you can have voice conversations, you can have share pictures, you can kind of chat, and so the Den, that'll be kind of like a access to the Den 24-hour type deal, I guess. So when we go live, and then once we get some growth, I'm gonna start doing something special with the Patreon. What I've been considering is, for like Patreon support, maybe doing something where the Patreon chat is, the Discord chat is on the stream. But let's take some calls, man. I want to see how y'all feeling. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the Den line this evening?
What's happening, Honcho? It's your nigga Mello.
Already Mello, man. What you want to drop on the motherfucking Den line this evening?
Oh man, so look, check it out, bro. I ain't called in for Sunday's confession, so I got a confession, bro.
All right,
so look, check this shit out, man. I've always had a phobia
Okay.
I've always had a phobia about heights. And for the longest, man, I've always wanted to be able to conquer that. And you know, the way society is right now, my nigga, it's allowed me to be able to come out and claim my inner truth. My nigga, I'm a bird, bro. I'm a bird, G. I'm a fucking bird, my nigga. God damn, it feels so good to claim this shit now. I can claim it. I can scream it out to the world. I'm a fucking bird, my nigga.
So you tell us you now identify as a bird, and we have to respect your bird rights.
Hey, nah, but on some other corny shit, bro. I guess the way it is now, man, we ain't never had a woman president, but I guess Donald Trump could just tweet out some shit talking about he found his inner truth and he's now a woman, right? So I guess the whole world will accept that we have a woman president now, huh?
I mean, yeah, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, man. Just say you identify as something else and you get a pass. You know what I'm saying?
God. Hey, man, that's fucking corny as shit, bro.
That's wild. Man.
Hey, you heard of that dude Ben Shapiro?
Yeah, I've caught some of what he talks about.
That nigga be destroying niggas with facts. It is straight up, boy. Yeah, but it's crazy because you were saying something about that hate speech too, man. I was watching the video where I think it was labeled something about transgender is a myth or change my mind or something. But they were having a little debate, a little conversation amongst, like, I guess this dude was sitting at a campus trying to get people to.
You talking about Steven Crowder?
Yeah. I don't know his name, but he was talking. But this one bitch was talking about that just by somebody or anybody not using the correct pronoun for what she likes to identify herself, that she would take that as an act of violence.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's fucking stupid.
That's the society we live in. Like that shit. I just learned about some shit recently called dead naming, and so that means what it is if a motherfucker transitions, so they go from man to woman, woman to man. So like say Bruce Jenner. If you call Caitlyn. If you call Caitlyn Jenner a Bruce Jenner, you're dead naming. That's the name they used to go by. So that can be considered hate speech. It's somebody in the UK in the US. It's started to slowly turn into the UK. Somebody got arrested for that. Might be facing jail time because they call somebody by their old name.
God damn. And I mean, if you're just meeting somebody, you know. And I heard of cases where, you know, you just met somebody and you don't use the exact pronoun that somebody likes to be identified as, and automatically they get the cops called on them. And that's like, you know, that's fucking bullshit, bro. Damn, man. I can't believe that shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's wild. This is the day and age we live. Like, if somebody would have told me this, you know, a little while back, I'd have said, "Oh, this is a joke." You know what I'm saying? This ain't no real shit. This ain't, you know, people ain't. This will never happen. You know, it'll never happen. But shit, the world, it seems, gets crazier by the day. And I used to try to sit and see some shit. I'm like, oh, that ain't that shit. And now that it's just like overwhelming that this shit gets pushed to the forefront. Are you assuming my gender? Are you doing this and doing that? Like, come on, man. You know, because somebody commented on the thing the other day, and I said, hey, well, I guess if that's the case, we can identify whatever. I identify as a white rhino. So if, you know, you threaten any violence against me, you know, I'm an endangered species. Your ass going to jail. Be Darko, appreciate the love. Appreciate the love.
Oh, God damn.
It's just, yeah, you know, look, so I'm protected. I'm a protected class now. I'm the last white rhino. God damn it.
Yeah. But I'm a strong feeling, man, that it is a mental illness, man. And people are just delusional about what kind of. It's crazy how they try to say biological sex and gender are two different things, and it's not. You know, from ever since, you know, motherfuckers can identify the difference between a male and a female. It's always been that. And just because you can wake up in the morning and feel like, oh, man, I'm a fucking female, like, just off of you feeling. It's off of a feelings, not facts. Feelings.
Yeah.
Feelings, my man.
And like I said, I wonder why that is, man. Like I wonder why that is, because how do you feel that way? Like, just because, again, like I said, I think it has to do with a lot of things that happen in society, the way they're raised, the way they, the parents treat them, and then they see certain things and they figure, well, if I'm awkward in this aspect, then I must be this. And the mind is powerful, man. The mind can make you think a lot of shit. And I think when people keep telling you this, telling you this, then they you'll start believing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And fucking.
And look, I might offend some people with this shit because of the whole, the rape thing and being molested and yada yada yada. A lot of transgenders, a lot of gays, a lot of lesbians, they claim that they were raped, or they're like that because of that.
Yeah.
But if you're like that, which means you like it. So at what point did it stop becoming a rape or molestation?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. You ain't lying. Like, I've heard that too. Like a lot of them. So, do you think that it's more of a trauma, and then because of that trauma, they started to respond to it?
You start liking it? How do you go from being traumatized from something, but you like it now? That don't make fucking sense.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, I get the aspect of okay, maybe you didn't want it done at that moment by that person, but if it's been done so long, I mean, and now you like it, like I don't know. I get maybe I'm kind of tripping on my own shoelaces, but
could it become that like what's it called? What's that Munchausen syndrome, where where you become one of the people who are victims, they fall in love with their oppressor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, they think it's bad, but then they begin to agree with it. They think this is what they are, what they're supposed to be.
I don't know, man. But if you can do that, I hope you get the best type of treatment for your fucking illness, man. Because that's I was when I was born with big balls. I've always from the moment that I could think of, the moment I could think on my own, my mom always told they enforced the fact that you were a man. And it's not wrong to show your kid otherwise. I mean, if you catch your son going in for his sister's slippers, I mean, the majority of the time, kids like cool shit, cool, colorful shit. And if you were to just take your kid to go get some new shoes, hey, I mean, I don't know. So take a kid to go get some new shoes, show him how cool some boy shoes are. You might, you might show you some shit. He liked the cool thing. He thought their fucking shoes were cool. And, kids they don't really have, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm kind of, because I'm at work right now, bro, so. But you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get it. But like I say, you got to encourage them to be what they are. Instead, they leave things too open to interpretation, and it gets a little weird. And then they encourage the weirdness, and that's the crazy shit. Like, I'm all for encouraging your kids' creativity and all that other shit. But as far as things that aren't what they're supposed to be, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying?
Again, I ain't with that shit either, bro.
Because my thing is, I look at it like this, right? If everybody is LGBT, whatever, and the rest of the alphabets, I told you alphabet cereal with the frosting. If they all that. Then how does society advance? Because obviously there's no procreating, there's no kids being born. There's only so many that you're gonna adopt, and that has to come from straight people having sex. So, like, what happens after that? Because who's gonna have the kids? Who's gonna?
Well, I mean, it's just gonna stop then. I mean, procreating is not gonna be a thing after that, and most likely the population will fucking dwindle down. But it's crazy because. They'll claim all day that you could, to change your gender, you could change your name, all that, it's legal. It's legal now in certain states or whatever. But that don't make it right. You look back decades of societies that they've had things that they've had, things that they practiced that were legal at the time, but doesn't necessarily make it right,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I feel like slowly, hopefully, I'm praying the society, realizes that these are one of the things that it's not that society's trying to practice now, and it's not correct. And I hope they get past it, man.
Yeah, I think we slowly heading downhill because you've seen societies in the past go this same route, and those cultures end up declining to the point where they fell off, got conquered, or whatever else.
They wind up declining, and they wind up just fucking getting taken off the face of the earth. And all you read about them is history, just not even accurate history at that.
Yeah, I agree. That's a bet, man. That's a bet, Mello, man. I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts on the issue, man.
For sure, my nigga.
Right.
But I'm a bird. Y'all remember that shit? I'm a bird now. All right, man.
That's a bet.
Yeah.
But man, look, and that's what I'm saying. The identify thing. Again. Hold on. God damn it, turn this shit up. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Next boy, Roman.
Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? What would you like to contribute on this topic this evening, Mr. Roman?
Oh man! First of all, I'm gonna say these Rockets have been playing like shit right now. Now we coming back and all, but Jesus, oh man, them first couple minutes was horrible. But they ain't the topic, man.
Yeah, they gonna win.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll win the game, but come on, man. We about to play the Warriors next season, man. I mean, next round. We got to do better. So we'll see. Let me stop talking about that. Oh, but the LGBT stuff. Oh, man. I'm going to say it again, man. I don't hate the LGBT, man. But I always say, stop shoving it down my throat, bro. I'm tired of every time I turn on the TV, I watch a cartoon, I play a game, man. It's got to be a gay character. It's got to be this. It's got to be that, bro. My problem is, it's shoving it down the kids, because the kids is the future. They're the ones, after all of us get old and die, they're going to be the ones. So that's my cousin, and, Honcho, that's your daughter, and that's all them. They're the future. When we get older, I'm not old, but you know what I mean. When they going to be living longer than us. So, you got to think about it. Kids love TV. They love the internet. And that's all they see, man, they start to get influenced by that. And they start to think, man, is this right? Is it okay to be gay? Is it okay to be this? And it's okay to be that. And to where you have the Wayne Wade situation, where you have a Charlize Theron situation, where they come out 11 and 7 saying they're gay when they haven't hit puberty yet. Now, let me tell you something. Being gay is a taught thing, man. Nobody's born gay. That's impossible. Okay? You are taught that. You have been seeing that. Is somewhere in your brain that you have seen that, and you think that. And I know if the LGBT was on me right now, they would call me sexist, homophobe. And I'm not. Okay? I'm not. I don't hate gay people. I'm just saying. Stop shoving it down my throat. And I'm tired of you really just giving this to the kids, because let kids be innocent. At the end of the day, man, let them just play and have fun, and they don't think about this sex and being this and being that. And nah, man, I have a problem with that. And another thing I have a problem with is, this bathroom bill. Let me tell you something, man. Now, Honcho, I've came on this show a million times. And you already, I know I've told you a lot of my views is liberal. Let me tell you something about that bathroom bill. I'm conservative all the way, bro. I don't want to hear that shit to save my goddamn life. I will vote Trump. I will vote anything for that damn bathroom bill. I hate to say it, because I know. Don't play me with that bullshit, man. You got some dirty people in this world that will do anything to children. And you really don't think people will dress up in makeup, dresses, panties, bras, and wigs, and do anything to go in these bathrooms and touch children? That's ludicrous. That's craziness to me that you actually think that would never happen if this bathroom bill was ever passed. No. And I'm sorry. If you are a man, go to the man's bathroom. You're a woman, go to the woman's bathroom. I believe in two genders. I don't believe in that non-binary, whatever they call it, where I'm neither gender or I'm asexual. Well, I mess with everything. No. It's two genders. Okay, that's it, and accept that. I felt like in a way being gay, a little bit of self hatred, like you hate yourself. You know, you hate that you're a man, you hate that you're a woman, so you want to be the other gender. You know, and you know, I don't know if that's taught and that's learned. You know, and I always thought that it's like, do you hate yourself for being that? And that's why you like that. You know, and like the caller said before me, man. If you, I have heard a lot of gays, transgenders, all them saying they were molested or raped and all that, but you turn out to be basically what your molester, your rapist is gay, and you wouldn't seem like you would hate that. You seem you would definitely not be gay. You would be straight all the way, having kids. No, I don't like that. I think that stuff was nasty, but you become that. So it does make you start to believe what happened. In a way, you have to like it because you became that, So that makes me start to think, well, what happened? Did you like it? Did you start to think it was right? Did it was influenced into your head? I don't know. I don't got the answers, but this is my main thing, man. Look, every human deserves rights. God loves all his children. I'm not saying I'm not one of these Christians out here say all gay people going to hell. Look, if you repent for your sins, you're gonna see the heaven's gate. But the thing is, stop shoving it down people's throats. I've heard people say, "Oh my God, Black Lives Matter and black lights and shooting down people's throats." I do feel like the LGBT does it too. It's always in your face. You can't move without it happening. And if one person disagrees, it's a problem. We all have an opinion in the world. And some opinions you just ain't going to like. There's some opinions I don't like, but you know what? I respect that person's opinion because that's how they feel. I don't like Trump. I'm not big on his supporters, but you know what? That's their opinion. I can't change it. So this is my last point before I get off. Respect my opinion and I will respect yours. Respect that I'm not the biggest on the LGBT and I'm not with it. And then, look, I'll respect that you are with that and that's how you want to live. So that's my call, man. Yeah. We just, at the end of the day, respect me, I respect you, and stop shoving that shit down children's throats, man. So that's my call, Honcho.
Already, I appreciate the call there, Roman. Roman say respect this motherfucking gangster, goddammit.
Hell yeah.
Already.
Goddamn, respect me for being me, goddamn. Shit, I don't want to roll up on some niggas. I'm just playing.
Already. Okay. Well, that's a bet. Appreciate the call there, Roman.
All right, man.
Bet.
All right.
Okay, hold on now, Miss Sarah. That 951 is you. If it is, go ahead, call in, Miss Sarah. I got you. Oh. Man, I want to hear number one. What's going on with that? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho.
How you doing, Miss Sarah? How are you? What you want to share with the people this evening?
Oh, God, I have two.
Okay.
One, I could tell you about how I accidentally peed on my babysitter. She quit and I got my ass beat. Or how I accidentally tricked my blind cousin with a $20 bill and a $1 bill.
Man.
Which one do you guys want to hear?
Man, I know I'm voting for Pete on the babysitter. Like, I need to know this.
Yes, MPC, this is Sarah.
I need to know how the babysitter got pissed on and pissed off. That's
Okay. Hey, son below. Okay. So the babysitter was a little bitch with us, right? Yeah. So she would lock us out of the house so that we wouldn't dirty the house after she cleaned up. Yeah. But she would start cooking when she locked us out. Yeah. So then, so we waited for her to go outside to hang up the clothes in the clothesline. So we hid. As soon as she came out the door, we ran inside, locked her out, and so we were eating, and then we saw her coming because she went to get the key from the neighbor's house, the spare key. So we jumped out the window, and then so we would hang on the bars from the window bars, and then we would climb to a tree and then get up on top of the roof. Yes, we were that bad. So I didn't get a chance to get on the roof, so I was standing on the tree limb. So I'm standing there, and oh my God, I had to pee. My bladder was hurting, my back was hurting. So then she stands right under me, and she's looking around to see where we went. Of course, she never thought to look up. So I want her to move, but I didn't want to tell her because she used to throw rocks and chanclas at us, right?
Yeah, that's what you got.
And so, yeah, babysitter wasn't playing, and she was an older lady, so she didn't give a damn. So then, damn it. So I couldn't hold it no more, and she wouldn't move. So then a little bit came out, and I was just like, fuck it. So I just let it go. It was a little river. She looked up. Her glasses were all wet, and she's touching her face, trying to see what's falling on her. And man, when she finally went inside, and she started leaving. So we thought she was going to take the key back, the spare key. Man, when my mother came, we told her boyfriend came, and she left with him. So she's so mad, and there was no, and she was a living babysitter, and there was no cell phone, thank God. So I was safe for about 3 days. Man, the freaking neighbor told her what I did, and my mother beat the hell out of me. I was like, oh, dang it. So after that, we were forced to babysit ourselves because the 2 little ones got a babysitter. And the 3 of us had to take care of ourselves, clean the house, get up, go to school, come back, clean the house, cook for ourselves, and no damn babysitter no more ever for us.
That's terrible. Yeah. Look, I hope they spread rumors about y'all. I wouldn't want to babysit y'all as you pissing on motherfuckers. God. Yeah,
man, the neighbors were, I don't know if they were more entertained with the accidental pee or with the whooping. And people, the kids on the block used to say, why didn't you run? I'm like, bitch, because I got to go back home. I live there. My parents ain't going to play that, oh, okay, you ran, so you're good. You come back and they forgot about it. No, my parents would let us get in the car if we pretend to fall asleep, so when we get home, they forgot about it. They ain't gonna forget. We'd be getting woke up, getting our asses whooped. So it was no forgiveness in that house. You messed up, you're gonna pay.
That's tough. That's super tough. And that's
yeah. And then she was brave. She came back probably 5 years later. And she's like, oh, you guys are older and all this stuff. So, and then another time my sister went in there, and she didn't want to. That was the problem. She would lock us out, and I'm like, come on, we just want to eat and go back and play. But she didn't want to do double work, so her and my sister started wrestling. This lady was probably 68 years old, and my sister was probably I can't remember because all 3 of us are a year apart, so we were all in elementary school. And so her and my sister start wrestling. The babysitter beat the shit out of her. So I was like, so then she came 5 years later. She's like, oh, you guys grew up. Yeah, I remember you guys were bad. So then it started raining. The lights went out. So my sister was like, oh, let's go see if she's awake. And I said, okay. So she tricks me to bend over the bed and see if she's asleep. As soon as I bent over to look at her face, my sister pushed me, and man, the babysitter socked me. So we ran out the room, and then we go back, and I tell her, she's like, go look. I said, no, you look. So once my sister did that, I pushed her ass back. So the babysitter got a hold of her, and she was kicking her ass, and then she threw her inside the closet. It was a trip, and she comes crying, and she's like, why would you do that to me? I'm like, bitch, you did it first. And then we had to run and hide under my brother's bed. He don't know what's going on. This old lady goes in his room while he sleeps, tossing shit, opening closets, slamming doors. And so he gets up and then he cussed her out. So all of us got our ass beat. So yeah, we got a lot of babysitter horror movies. Stories.
See, that's why
but next on Sunday, my cousin goes visit her family. Well, her ex-in-laws. Sunday, I'll tell you guys about the dollar bill. My blind cousin folded the dollar bill, one of the ends. Yeah. He would fold it so he could know which one were the dollar bills and which were the 20s. Yeah. I forgot to tell him, and you guys will hear that next story on Sunday. I forgot to tell him. People almost called the cops on him, and it's horrible.
Oh, it's fucked up. Yeah, I definitely want to hear that, but man, that's look, I don't know. I wouldn't have wouldn't have been babysitting y'all ass. It only would have took one of those incidents. I'd be like, fuck that. Your brother got in trouble for y'all shenanigans.
That's why I tell my kids, you guys fuck with this babysitter. I would leave my job to go check up on them and whoop their ass while I'm on my break. Oh, D-Love? Yeah, heck yeah. My parents used to let, if our neighbors or babysitters, anybody caught us doing anything bad, they were, even the piano church lady tried to smack us one time. So my parents didn't care because they were like, well, what were you doing? So we were going to get our butt whooped again, so might as well just keep it to ourselves. Yeah. All right, so that's my story. Thank you, B, and what's his name? Oh, and Edwin for supporting the Den. Exactly. So, you guys, come on, $10 more, 2 more people. All righty then, so I'll hang up and then I'll listen to your comment after that. Maybe it'll make you want to have kids now.
Miss Jessera, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that story with us.
All righty then.
All right, you have a good day. Bye. Man, look, peeing from tree. Look, man, look, Jack. I body slam a kid. This day, I say, well, if it's a little girl, you gotta say she identified as a little boy, so it was okay. So that little girl identifies as a man, and so I had to beat that ass. All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
I don't want to hear all that bullshit. First off, fuck you, Honcho. I know goddamn well you know I was calling, motherfucker. You clicked off of me so you could talk to Sarah ass.
I just clicked off Sarah before that. It goes down in the line. It's like it's a situation. Look, she had to get clicked off. She got clicked off for Roman. You got clicked off for Sarah. Somebody else called in after you. I'm gonna clicked off on them too.
Nah, fuck that shit, man. Got hold. I don't know why. Got hold again. I keep getting hold. I sent you that shit damn near a week ago. I looked all over trying to find the name of that fucking video. Man. And I sent it to you. You ain't even watched this shit. God damn.
Man, I'm telling you. Look, when I click out of everything, I zone out. I click out of all of it. I got it put in I just put it in a little file, to a little notepad, text document. So when I get off the thing,
you put it in the forget folder, motherfucker. I know what you're doing.
It's on the desktop now because I saw it right before I started in the den because somebody had texted the den line and then it wasn't coming up and I looked. I was like, oh shit, I ain't check out that video Jay Dizzle said. So that's why I was expecting it when you pulled up in the chat. I was like, God damn it, I ain't even watched it yet. So I'll admit to my wrongs. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem admitting to where I will. Players fuck up, man. I done fucked up 2 days in a row, but I got you, man.
Yeah, you always seem to fuck up when it comes to me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. First off, I like to address the shit that's going back and forth in the chat. Okay. You motherfuckers killed me with this back and forth shit. One motherfucker is sitting up here and trying to logically argue against religion. What the fuck is the point? There's nothing logical about religion. It's just about faith. It's what you choose to believe. Yeah. That's it. There's only personal reasons behind it. There's no concrete evidence as to why you should believe it, and there's none to why you shouldn't. So trying to sit up here and logically argue against it is futile. So just let Broderick have his fun. Let him do his thing. That's how he want to live. Let him live that way. Second thing, Roman, you not gay. Well, I don't know. Maybe you are. I don't know. I'm not saying you is, I'm not saying you ain't, because I don't know you like that, my nigga. But just really chill out, man. Let the dude just troll. That's all he doing, he trolling. Calm down. And I'm finna kill this shit right now. I'm tired of you ladies falling in love with Heidi motherfucking ass. Fuck that bitch. She ain't never called in and said shit. She ain't queen of a motherfucking thing. So until she call in, she don't get no props for shit. She can sit up there and make those quote unquote corny ass jokes that she said. I think she's kind of funny, to be honest. But she ain't no queen of a bitch ass thing until she called that fucking number. Just like the rest of y'all. And fucking talk on this line. I don't give a shit what her voice sound like, because we got some fucked up voice people call on here all the goddamn time. And yeah, we make fun of them, but it is what it is. Okay? So, till she call in, she ain't shit. Point blank, period.
Let me put that in my notes.
Now,
Heidi ain't shit. All right, I got you.
Yeah, Heidi ain't shit. There you go, right there. Now, anyway, I want to get on this little topic, because this identifying shit is stupid.
Yeah.
So if that's okay for a motherfucker to identify as a woman or a man, what if the police chasing after somebody and they say, well, you're a wanted person? Well, what if I don't identify as a wanted person? How's that? You just got to let me go?
Yeah.
Hell no, that shit don't work like that. So why does this other stupid shit work like that? And how in the fuck can you call yourself whatever the fuck it is, gender neutral, where you not a male or female? What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean that you have no sexual organs at all? Is that what that means? Well, if that's not the case, well, then you one or the other, motherfucker. That's it. There ain't no option B. I mean, option C. I said option B. That's it. There's no option C, D, E, F. Ain't none of that shit.
Yeah.
Either you a dude or you a chick. That's it. I'm sorry. You could either have one sexual organ or the other. Some people may have both. Okay, I can see adding a little subcategory for that.
Yeah.
But that's it. You either one or the other. Now, what you look like on the outside, that's completely up to you. But just because you say you something don't mean you that. Just don't make sense. I'm sorry. It's the dumbest shit ever.
So why
Especially when it's not the truth.
But why do you think so many people are okay with this and then supporting this crazy idea that it's
Because
violent?
this old bullshit, soft ass, bitch ass parenting bullshit where y'all be going around telling y'all kids they can be anything they want to be. Well, I want to be a female. There you go. And you got a swinging dick. That's what you get for lying to your motherfucking kids. Parents need to stop lying to their motherfucking kids.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You would have to put up with all this shit. If you tell them the truth and kept it 100, you would cut all this bullshit out. And another thing that gets on my motherfucking nerves. Look, he wasn't the best president we ever had. But you can't sit up here and blame Obama for all this gay shit we got going on. This shit been running its course long before this motherfucker was ever came around. Come on now. Y'all need to get off the bullshit. Like, he would have been able to stop it or press it forward. Like, really? This shit was going to come to a head sooner or later anyway. This shit started way before he even got in the office.
Yeah.
Okay? So y'all can miss me with that bullshit. Come on now. You know this is all the Democrats. So really what you saying, one political party is the only one that's pushing the gay agenda? So it's only gays in the Democratic Party? There ain't no motherfuckers butt fucking in the Republican Party?
Oh, it's plenty of them. It's plenty of them on both sides. But my thing is that they not pushing it to the forefront. Like, I think to me the difference is the Democrats are using these, the intersectionality shit, and they're using that to base their platform on, well, you're black, so you're doing bad. You're gay, you're doing bad. We the only ones that can help you because you identify as this and doing all that.
Because they ain't got nothing else. They don't have nothing else that they want to do.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and I watched this shit a couple of days ago, where it was a bunch of black Republicans was in the White House, and they was challenging Roland Martin. Now, okay, I don't agree with everything Roland Martin say. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican either. But the exchange that they had going back and forth, and they kept asking him this same question.
Yeah.
And I thought about Broderick. He was like, why would you keep voting Democrat when they ain't never done nothing else for you? And I was sitting up here thinking, I was like, you know what, that is a really good question. How would I answer that if somebody asked me? And I got the perfect answer. It's the lesser of two evils. Why wouldn't you vote Republican? Well, who's to say that y'all gonna do anything for me? And they try to use this analogy. Well, if you go to one mechanic and he can't seem to fix your car, wouldn't you go to another mechanic? And I'm like, yes, I would. I would. But if I went to that mechanic and he didn't fix it either, I wouldn't go to neither one of them motherfuckers. But that's the point. You only got one choice or the other. There's only two choices.
No.
That's it. There ain't no the rest of them in the motherfucking yellow page. So it ain't like we got a smorgasbord of motherfuckers we can choose from. They pick one representative from one side and they pick one representative from the other side. That's all the fuck you get.
But
of course, you got the independents and some of the rest of them, but they not voting for them because the majority of Americans either taking one side or the other.
But why don't we as blacks ever at least try out the other mechanic? If we still riding around in the car with the window don't roll up.
Well, the other mechanic was in power all them other years. And see, here's the thing, Honcho. What you're saying is, well, if one ain't working, then you try something else. Here's the deal. You know damn well neither one of them is actually going to fix the problems we actually have because they're not concerned with your problems. The only agenda they want to push is their party's agenda, which is the problem I have with them in the first place. They don't give a shit about what the people in the country need. They only care about what that party cares about. No. That's it. You can say all this shit you want to. Well, he's not doing nothing about because they was talking about Obama. He didn't do nothing about the violence in Chicago. Has anybody? Trump been in office how long? He been in office over a year. Has he done shit? No. And they say, well, he did do something about the prison reform. He let one nigga go.
No, he enacted a policy.
One.
He enacted a policy for the federal.
He let one nigga go.
But he signed off on a policy that it's going to gradually take time to implement and everything like that. But at least it's
what about all the other niggas that's in there wrongfully?
No, man, there's a lot of niggas in there. But it's going to take time to go through a lot of them cases, though. But my thing is that even that one
out of all this time. Now listen to me, all this time. And it took a celebrity to go all the way to the fucking White House, across the motherfucking country, to get in and let one nigga go. You mean to tell me all them brilliant motherfuckers he got in the White House, all these motherfuckers with all this intelligence, and it takes Kim Kardashian to get him to let a nigga go, to bring him the information to let a nigga go.
But my thing is, Obama had 8 years, and how many did that nigga let go? How many niggas that look like him?
See, here's the thing. There you go, right there. I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Obama, no, listen to me, Honcho.
Okay.
Obama, see, this is what you're doing. You're being a hypocrite. Because you just sat up here and said, why are my people concerned about what happened in the past instead of worrying about the opportunities that you have right now?
Okay.
You just said that. So instead of Trump always, and Roger does this a lot too, you blame everything on the Democrats and Obama. They're not in power right now.
Yeah.
You are. So now that you're in power, what the fuck are you going to do? All the rest of that shit don't matter. Okay. You got it right now. What are you going to do with it now that you have it? That's what's the most important. I don't give a fuck about what Obama did. I could care less. He's not the president now. You are. So what are you doing? What's the plan? What are we going with? When we going to fix this healthcare shit that you done tore all this shit that he built up down? Not to say that was the best thing. But can you come up with something better? I haven't seen shit yet. And I keep getting promises. Well, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. We got something. We got something. Where the fuck is it? If it's something that's so important to you, wouldn't you be wanting to fix it right the fuck now? Yes. You wouldn't wait till later. If you got a fucking hole in your roof, and it's a monsoon going on every day, all day, and you just saying, you know what, I got the shit to fix that hole. When are you going to fix it? You just going to sit up here and tell me about it while I'm sitting here soaking wet? It's enough of that. Enough. What are you going to do now? And see, this is the kind of logic that people just don't seem to understand. Everybody is so quick to try to place the blame on somebody instead of fixing the fucking problem, especially if you got the skills and the know-how or you so proclaim you do. But when it comes down to actually pulling the action off, you do nothing. So you just as bad as the motherfuckers who didn't do it. You talked about it and still didn't fix it. That's not helping nobody. You busy worrying about the Republican cause. Fuck the Republican cause. You're supposed to be representing the United States of America, which is the Republicans, the Democrats, and every fucking body else. But you don't give a shit about the Democrats and everybody else. That's not going to help the country. It's not. So you got anything to counter that argument?
Okay. So here's my deal. Trump been in office, what, about 2 years or so? A little over 2 years, maybe? Okay. So what you got from there? What you got from Trump is, again, we're not going to worry about the past. We're talking about what's happening now. What has happened now is he made a significant investment in urban development. He made what's the as far as federal prison, he signed a little deal that's going to start getting more folks out. And he actually did get some other people out besides just the Kim Kardashian chick. It was another chick besides that, and then there's a black dude which he brought to that State of the Union. But there's actually some other people who have also benefited from that. And again, my thing is, if we're going to compare, even though we're talking about the past and what he did and didn't do, and we're talking about now. Right now, you got a lot of issues, and this is something I've complained about before, right? We got a lot of black issues. Do you really, truly, honestly expect Trump and even the people that's in his White House to understand black issues? Just him being him, even if he wasn't president. Do you expect him to understand black issues?
No.
Okay. So what Trump has done, Trump has extended an olive branch several times to when Meek got out. When the NFL players were having their issues, he extended olive branch and say, come to the White House, write me a letter. If you think there's somebody who's been wrongly incarcerated, I want to know what your problem. I want to know how many niggas do you think have gone and taken that opportunity to go sit with the president and actually help somebody? How many of them put their pride aside for what they believe in Donald Trump to actually go out there and maybe try to do something greater for somebody else? How many people do you think took that opportunity?
Probably not many.
Not a single, not a one. And so that's when you're talking about what's best for the country, what's best for. So is it best for me and my pride if this man is saying, okay, you saw Kim Kardashian go do it, right? So obviously he's listening to something. And so my thing is, if no nigga's gonna take that opportunity, well, because he's a racist, even though you saw him let these black people go. But now because Jay-Z told Meek not to go holler at him because it'll look bad to black people. So who are you trying to impress? Black people, or are you really trying to help out those who are oppressed? These niggas that's free, you trying to worry about them that's free, or you really trying to go free niggas that have been violated by the system in your opinion, especially after you got fresh out of jail? So again, it works in the same way as you saying it's about everybody. So you worried about your fan base or whatever else, or how people are going to view you when you could actually go get some change, go sit down with this man, have a real conversation, see what he's really about. But then when one nigga did go try to do that, Kanye, everybody clowned him. Everybody, oh, he doing this now. I'm not gonna say I agree 100% with the way he did it, but when he went in there, what did he try to do? He tried to talk about getting manufacturing jobs into Chicago. He talked about trying to fix families in Chicago, bringing more men in their jobs so they can take care of their family. Like he went there and actually took an option that nobody else was willing to do. Everybody gonna sit there, call him coon, call him this, T.I. mad at him, Snoop mad at him, they clown him and doing all this. But he's the dude. The president has offered many Oliver. Man, fucking Obama had a mixtape full of niggas in the White House at one time. And they ain't talk about shit. They took a photo out and that was that. That's all I'm saying. But no nigga wants to go and try. Why? Why don't any of these people want to go try to help out or go talk to Trump? Because it looks bad for their cause, the groups that they support. And most of these people are, Democratic or whatever. And so, they'll go and campaign for Hillary. But you can't go talk to the man who's actually in power, who can actually get some stuff done. And you've seen him get stuff done. But yet you don't want to go talk to him. So I don't understand, why don't they want to go do that?
Okay, Honcho, here's the thing.
Okay.
You fell for the okie doke, sir.
Okay.
You and probably a lot of other people in the chat.
Okay.
Who do you think is best qualified to talk to Trump 101 about the problems that go on in Black America?
I think somebody that's been through the problems in Black America.
Right. So wouldn't you think it's someone that would have more of a history in politics? Somebody who's more in touch with the black community, besides an entertainer?
But like you just said, though, an entertainer got somebody freed, though, right?
True. But that's what it took, was an entertainer. Somebody with a social status. What about all them people that we got in D.C.? All them brothers and sisters that we got in D.C.
They don't want to fuck with
that are
Trump.
extremely... No, listen to me. You ain't... Let me
Okay.
that are extremely intelligent and you know that are very in tune with the problems that we have as a community. So what it took was someone with a social standing to go in there and change his mind about something. And even before he was president, when he had other people visiting Trump Tower, all of those were celebrities. But the ones that wanted to bring those brothers and sisters in that knows the politics and knows how shit works, he didn't want to meet with them. Why do you think that is? How does that sound to you? Now, I'm just looking at it logically. I'm not putting my heart in it. I'm just thinking with my brain. Why didn't he want to speak to those certain people? Those people can't get a meeting with Donald Trump. But if you're a rapper and sell a lot of albums, you seem to be real popular, you can get in. Okay. And if you don't take those invitations, Honcho looking at you like a coon, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So I would have a whole different tune if I saw that legitimate people, not just these fucking superstars and celebrities, not to say that they don't have something to say, because they do, but they don't have the whole picture. Okay? They don't understand the ins and outs of politics and how shit actually works.
Okay.
That's not their best forte. So if he was meeting with people that did have that did represent that, I wouldn't have nothing to say about it. I would agree with you 1,000%. But it's the fact that he don't and he hasn't. I'm not saying that he won't. Maybe he will. I'm willing to give a man the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to give him a chance until he proves differently. But I'm going to tell you where all this racist shit started. It was the Charlottesville shit. Because that shit rubbed me the wrong way. You just can't condemn the white supremacists?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine people on both sides? Come on now. That's saying something without saying something. And that's just one instance. But that right there rubbed me completely the wrong way. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
That's not a hard decision to make. That's like saying child molesters are bad people.
Yeah.
Would it be so hard? Well, I'm sure he was a fine young man coming up. You wouldn't want to hear that if your child was the one he molested. I'm sure he was a fine priest. He praised the Lord, said the word, gave the word to these people. Come on, bro. You wouldn't say no shit like that. So, and then you got to look at his history, you know what I'm saying, with people and the lawsuits and the bankruptcies. I mean, he a businessman, I get it. But come on now. We all know he ain't been the most honorable and honest businessman.
Not a man of natural born
finesse,
finesse,
I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking. That's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking it because he got away with the shit legally.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He did what he did. But I mean, come on. He's not the most honest person. And as we can all tell, he has some bouts of, let's just say, less intelligent moments. But then sometimes I could see past some of the bullshit and see how slick that motherfucker is. He's slick as shit. Don't get it twisted. And they said, well, we voted for him because he's not a politician. That motherfucker is worse than a politician. He's worse. Because he saw our angle and he took advantage of it. The same thing he's always done. And he did whatever was best for him. And that's mostly the problem I have with him, because it seems like it's pretty much the same thing. He'll do a little something for the people just to give you a little, you know what I'm saying, a bite at the carrot. But then he pull that motherfucker away. You got to be quicker than that. And I see the stick and the string. Everybody only see the carrot.
No.
I'm asking y'all to take just a step back. Refocus your eyes. Rub your eyes, wash them out, whatever you got to. There's a string on that carrot, bro.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it's just him. All them motherfuckers dirty, and y'all know it. So,
Yeah,
again, I go back to my premise. You picking the lesser of both evils. Nobody wanted Hillary.
Yeah.
Come on now. Nobody wanted Hillary. Who the fuck else were they going to vote for?
Yeah.
Just be honest.
Jill Stein.
Hell no. Hell no. Nobody liked it either choice.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, well, fuck it. If I had to choose one, might as well choose him at least. You know what I'm saying? He the slick when he can get away with some shit. She get caught and just murder motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
And you can say what you want to about Obama and his policies, but at least he was a good fucking man. I'm not saying he made all the right decisions, but at least he was an honorable person. He represented the office extremely well as far as his temperament and how, you know, he handled day to day. He didn't do the best shit for the country. He damn sure didn't do shit for black folk.
No.
I can't defend him on that at all. You know, and some people say, well, what you want him to do? He's supposed to take care of the whole country. No, the other president has ever really done that. They did whatever they thought was right. Some people, for some people to win, other people got to lose. So I get that too. And he didn't do shit for us to win nothing. So I hold that against him because you the first nigga. Do something for us, nigga. Goddamn.
And they put a basketball goal in the White House and had a barbecue. Everybody was cool, though.
That's something, bro. Like, yeah, you know, he appeased us just like every other politician would, just to get our votes. Same old shit. So, like, again, I see the stick in the string. I'm not just looking at the carrot. I just wish more people would look for the string.
Okay. Okay.
But good convo, Honcho. I enjoyed it. I hope the people in the chat enjoyed it instead of hating on some shit. But we'll see.
I think you defined a couple of folks. Yeah, I think you're gonna have some interesting commentary to check out. But I definitely agree.
And
with you,
I know Broderick got something to say. Me and him gonna have to go at it one of these days because it's about time for him to get reined in with all this misinformation he got going on in the chat. He really needs to be reined in with some sensible knowledge, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Well, that's a bit, man. Like I said, I enjoyed it as well, you know, and feel free, you know, anything you hear, if you want to call back in a minute and retort any replies, anything you got, man. You know how it go.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag Heidi ain't shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out.
Oh, babe. Okay. So very interesting, man, you know. Got a lot of perspectives on that. Like I say, I feel, and again, like I said, I don't give a fuck about none of them. I feel like they all crooks, but I'm just saying, looking at what's been done and what amount of time that was given, I feel like the stage has been properly set. But let's take this call. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den line this evening?
It's Prepay, man. I'm ready to ride.
Prepay, what you got, man?
Jay Dizzle, you made some valid points, bro, but I'm going to go ahead and carry you for the rest of the way. First and foremost, the point you said was none of the parties actually care about what's going on with the problems in the black community. They care about their own agenda. The reason why Republicans can't help out the black people is because we don't even keep it 100 what's going on in our own fucking community. You ask a black person, what's our biggest problem? If they got any type of quote-unquote fake intelligence, what they going to say? Somatic oppression and racism. Do you realize that 95% of niggas ain't never dealt with no type of racism? They heard about some shit.
Yeah.
They partner heard about some shit, but they ain't personally ever dealt with none of that shit. See, our grandfathers dealt with that shit. We haven't. A white person look at you wrong and they're going to swear that's racism. A white person don't reach out a hand to help you out, that's racism. And that's where we are as a people now. I can tell you what's really going on in the black community, shit that's really fucked up. But once I say it to people, I become a coon. I become this what they call me, a half white, half white Uncle Tom. But that's the way I'm looked at, because if they don't have any facts to it, they have to attack you personally or how you look, because that's the way it works with us. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. The biggest problem in the black community ain't racism, it ain't oppression, it ain't no bullshit ass reparations. It's the fact that we keep on raising our fucking families in single parent households. That's what's going on. That's what's really going on. But we don't want to sit up here and say that, because if we sit up here and admit that what's really going on in our community is fucked up, then we have to be held accountable. So we got kids raising kids. Your mother had you when she was 13, 14 years old. On your 15th birthday, you got a baby on the way. How are you ever going to create any generational wealth? How are we ever going to change the circle that you've been living in for so long? How? You can't. You're not breaking the cycle. You want to know why? Because the Democrats keep telling you that this is happening because of a system. The system failed you. Ain't no fucking system failed you, fool. You failed your own self because you knew you couldn't afford to have them kids, but you had them anyway. Here's a better one for anybody who want to object what I'm saying. Fuck it. Let's say you had the first kid at 14 to 15 years old. You made a mistake. I understand. Honcho, what do niggas do by between 3 to 5 years later? What they do, Honcho? After they break up with their other baby mama, what they do, Honcho?
And pop out another one.
Thank you. So now you got two with two different women. You can't afford to take care of either one of them. So what you gonna do? So let me get this straight. So you got two baby mamas. You got two kids. Can't take care of either one of them. Honcho, what's the realistic outcome of his dating moving forward? What you think gonna happen? You think he's gonna stay with baby mama one or two, or give me what you think gonna happen moving forward?
You finna move on because they giving you too much problems. They causing you too much stress. You can't deal with it. It's a toxic household. You got to find somebody else who's gonna accept you for who you are and cause another little situation. You know.
Oh Lord. Now let's be real with ourselves. Every last one of us, I think, are pretty much, besides Roman, have experienced a little bit of life experience. How many of y'all got partners who got 2 and 3 baby mamas? I got about 10 of them right now within my inner circle. I ain't even talking about the niggas I grew up with. I'm talking niggas in my inner circle. 2 or 3 baby mamas. Who is taking care of these kids? See, now we're getting to the root of shit. But instead of us sticking to this and saying what's really going on in our community, let's just keep talking about racism. Because don't nothing get you niggas going like talking about racism. Slavery. Ooh, slavery. What they did to us and the effects of slavery. Lord have mercy. The effects of slavery was so everlasting. Why the fuck you niggas so lazy? Why y'all so motherfucking prideful? Our people went out there and picked motherfucking cotton in sweltering heat. Blisters, bruises, no fucking cotton gym with their bare fucking hands. And niggas got too much pride to work at Whataburger? You got 2 kids, fam. You too good to work at Chick-fil-A? Okay. This is the reason why shit don't change around us, because we won't change as a people. We won't change as a people. See, if we gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. Now, since Obama was mentioned and Trump was mentioned, and I think it's all pretty clear, I'm a Republican, I don't mind getting into some things. Let's get to some things. You want to know why niggas love Obama so much? Because Obama represents what niggas like. He look good in the suit, and he talk well. Now, you can't find a nigga to tell you he's a good president. He ain't do shit for us, but he look good in the suit, and he talk well. That's enough for us. Representation means everything to us. I equate being black to the movie Black Panther. It was a whole bunch of niggas in there. They said a few little cool Wakanda feathers and crossed their arms, and that's all we meant. It was enough for us. The movie itself sucked, but representation meant that much to us, so we had to gas it up. That's your Obama. Obama is the movie Black Panther. Average at best, but niggas, representation means everything to us. So don't sit up here and say that Trump don't want to help out black people. You niggas don't want him to help out. The first place he reached out to was Rob Emanuel, who's the mayor of Chicago. You know what the response was? They told him he's on a no-fly zone. Don't come back here. Don't come back here. And let me go ahead and correct you also on this, Roger. Jay Dizzle. It's been 381 people released that are at home already from the First Step Act. There's another 813 people who've been approved that are getting processed out. Before 2020, there's going to be 2,700 people are going to come home of the First Step Act. That's already been approved, bro. That's 2,700. Niggas have 2 favorite presidents. Bill Clinton, which is the nigga that threw us all in the big house, threw us all in the can, and Barack Obama, the nigga who looked like us who ain't do shit for us. Now, if you want to talk about the facts, we can talk to you about some facts. Obama ain't do shit for us. Not a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. So if we're going to talk, let's talk about it. The reason why we not gonna vote for, well, we're gonna keep voting Democrat, is because we're gonna say it's the lesser of two evils. It's the lesser of two evils because it makes us feel good about ourselves. Because it makes you feel good. If you got an old lady and she cook for you every day, no matter what's going on, no matter how bad you treat her, she cook for you every fucking day. Guess what? Her cooking not gonna be that good to you. You expect it. You're gonna get it regardless of the fact. One day she get up and she decides she tired of your shit. You got to work for this meal now. Guess what? That meal gonna taste real good to you. That same bullshit as meatloaf tastes delicious to you out of nowhere. Because you got to work for that shit now, Honcho. Democrats ain't working for none of these votes. For none of these votes. So when y'all keep voting for these motherfuckers that keep telling you about how they gonna give you this bullshit reparations, all that bullshit, and do nothing for you, it's because they ain't got to work for it. They get up here, they shucking job, they put a concert on with Jay-Z and Beyonce, y'all yell like, yes, and then they don't do shit for you. And then you wonder why communities the way we are. Quick little rundown, real fast. I'm going to name a city, and Honcho, I want you to repeat after the city and say Democrat. That's the city. That's Democrat-ran city.
Okay.
Chicago, Illinois.
Democrat.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
It's Democrat.
Flint, Michigan.
It's Democrat.
Detroit, Michigan.
That's Democrat.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Definitely Democrat.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Democrat.
Now I want y'all to sit back and think about every city I just named. Think about it. What's the one thing that every last one of these fucking cities got in common?
That motherfucker's going broke.
Broke. A whole bunch of niggas killing each other. A whole bunch of violence. They sit up here and act a fool when somebody black get killed by a cop, but every day it's a motherfucking war zone. Every day is a motherfucking war zone. Because y'all have decided that Mike Brown getting killed was the most detrimental shit y'all ever been around. Here's the wild part. The next time you get mad because an unarmed black man get gunned down by a cop, whatever the case may be, think about all the niggas you know personally got killed. By their own people. You know what you said when you got killed? Damn, bro, niggas be wildin'. Niggas ain't gonna never change. Hey, Honcho, man, what you have for lunch today? That's how we talk when our own people get killed. Man, you heard it happened in Ferguson, man. They killed that nigga, man. I can't believe this shit. You know how many niggas get killed in Ferguson? Get the fuck out of my face. But you don't want to talk about that because that's when you being real. That's when you got to hold your own people accountable. Yeah. Y'all want to act a fool when a cop killed a nigga in Chicago? Man, it's 50 people in the chat right now. I guarantee I can't pay you niggas to go to Chicago if you ain't from there. Not the South Side. Not the fuck no. But y'all don't want to talk about that. Because when you talk about that shit and how we live and the way we live in the South, you got to be held accountable. And one thing about niggas, we don't want no parts of that shit. So we rather vote for the Democrats, let them tell us about somatic oppression, let them tell us about these quote-unquote systems put in place that's keeping us down. That because that make a whole lot of sense. And earlier I seen somebody put in the chat that Trump was a crook and he was a terrible businessman. First and foremost, he operates in the same laws that protect you, protect me, protect everybody else. Niggas gonna file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That's what smart people do. I'm sorry. It's the way it works. Business becoming insolvent every day. Get out, bro. Get out. You're mad at Jeff Bezos because he pays more employees instead of paying his taxes to the government? That's a part of your constitutional right. You don't have to pay the government. Your taxes are put in place if you don't have enough charitable contributions. So anybody from New York, y'all favorite little hot freshman Democrat, as Dr. Ocasio-Cortez decided that Jeff Bezos ain't welcome in New York because he don't pay taxes. So guess what Jeff Bezos did? They voted that shit on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Jeff Bezos putting his hub in D.C. Yeah. Who the fuck lost? Mr. Democrat, who lost?
Exactly.
He only need 25,000 jobs. He gonna create 45,000. That's how he gets the tax breaks. That's simple business, supply and demand. Instead of paying the government my tax money, I'm gonna just go out here and just pay extra people. Those are more high paying jobs that area don't even have in District 14 in New York. But she too fucking jealous to even put two and two together. You retard. Can we say something? Can I say something real fast? Now I'm gonna slow it down and say something real fast. I want everybody here to understand something. There are certain businesses and corporations that can't fail. They just can't fail. If you live in the area, don't have a Walmart, and they want to bring a Walmart there, and you got some Democrat talking about the Walton family don't pay taxes. Let me tell you something. Either you gonna vote for Walmart to come, or Walmart gonna find a way in this motherfucker regardless. Amazon is on that same level. They on that same fucking level. When they decide to pop that bitch up, it's coming. It's coming. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you're doing about voting that shit out is making it to where people in your area ain't getting them same jobs. Let me explain something to y'all, bro. Black people, stop looking at everything from being black versus white. Focus on social class. Because when you start focusing on social class, then you can really get to the bottom of shit. Y'all think white people hate y'all? You are a non-factor for white people. Rich white folks don't care about poor black people. You want to know how I know? Because rich black people don't care about poor black people. No one cares about the poor. They don't give a shit what y'all niggas is over there doing. As long as you say the fuck from around their neighborhood. Don't nobody care what's going on in Fifth Ward if you live in fucking Lake Olympia. No one cares. Now when these Fifth Ward niggas start coming to Lake Olympia, now we got problems. Honey, what's going on in the neighborhood? It sure is dark out here. That's how problems start happening. Wake the fuck up. It ain't all about racism, bro. It's about social class. It's always been social class. We had a conversation about religion. Go read your Bible. There were social classes in the Bible. God talked about that. The books laid it out. For as far back you can name, it's been social class. Upper, middle, lower. Upper, middle, lower. Every last race has social class. That's the focus. It ain't racism. It ain't the fucking black and white. It's social class.
I agree.
So as long as you are focused on black versus white, you ain't gonna never understand what's really separating you. It's that green dollar. It's them blue faces. If you don't believe me, stop living in your same environment, get you some white partners, and they'll tell you the same fucking thing I'm telling you. They're going to probably sugarcoat it for you because they don't want to upset you. They know you got all your little rights, you know. You got your little affirmative action and shit. So they're gonna slide it in there to you. But I'm telling you, it's the truth. Hopefully I'm clarifying some shit. Hopefully we can have this conversation and clarify some shit. Once you start living within your own truth and start being real with yourself, shit can start changing for you. It can improve for you. Life can be a whole lot better for you. Trump has been a great president. Not a good president, a great president. On top of 2 years of y'all saying he was a fucking Russian spy. Russian collusion. He's a double agent for Russia. He's a double agent for Russia. Well, guess what? That's not true. So when they going to come out and apologize? You ain't going to get it. They ain't going to apologize. They lied to you all this time. They ain't going to apologize. And for anybody talking about impeach Trump, it ain't happening either. It ain't happening. Obstruction of justice has to be a motive. You have to prove there's a motive to break the crime. There's no crime that was broken. You can't obstruct justice. Wake up. Open your fucking eyes. Now, while the Democrats are sitting around telling y'all that Trump is a Russian spy and all this bullshit, what were they doing? What's their campaign looking like for 2020? I guarantee right now you can't have a person call in right now and tell you what nobody's platform is for 2020. Sitting around with their thumbs in their ass instead of sitting up here and actually putting some work in and laying down a foundation to beat Trump.
Ain't they giving away?
Open up your eyes.
I thought they was giving away money and reparations to get them votes. I thought they was trying to buy the votes now. That's all I done heard.
Reparations. Motherfuckers who ain't never cared about reparations all of a sudden care about reparations. And let me tell y'all, and let me let y'all in a little secret real quick so y'all can understand this shit. All these celebrities telling y'all they Democrats, Roland Martin, these niggas is not Democrats. They ride with the Democratic Party because that's who their fan base is. These motherfuckers are in for the tax breaks. They are part of the rich staying rich. They not Democrat. If you think Jay-Z and Beyonce going to the booth and going vote for Hillary, man, I got all kind of land to sell you in Ireland. Let me know when you want to buy it. Cash only. Y'all got excited because LeBron James wore a Beto hat. How was a man born in Akron, Ohio, got y'all excited about a nigga who from El Paso, Texas running? He can't vote no fucking way, y'all. Wake the fuck up. Y'all excited because Travis Scott talking about go vote for Beto. Bitch, he ain't voting for him. That nigga's a California resident now. He got y'all excited for nothing. Y'all don't even understand politics to the point to where y'all get excited for shit like that. Oh my God, the king said vote for Beto. Okay, cool, go vote for him. Ask him when he's gonna meet you at the polls. Literally can't vote for this person. Wake up, man. Open your fucking eyes. A lot of these people running as Democrats ain't Democrats neither. Cory Booker's not a Democrat. Kamala Harris is not a Democrat. Elizabeth Warren is not a Democrat. Robert O'Rourke, because I don't know who the fuck Beto is not a Democrat. Bernie Sanders, damn sure ain't a Democrat. Wake up. Why they all run as Democrat? It's the layup, my nigga. It's the easy layup. They gonna vote for me anyway. All I gotta say some shit like, oh, it's lit, or tell people my favorite song is Old Town Road, they gonna vote for me. I'm done talking. Honcho, you chime in, bro. Help me out with some of this shit.
Man, I think you done laid down the foundation, you know, the pavement, everything, man. We can roll on this road. I mean, shit. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to really, what point haven't you made already? And that's just kind of, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. It's class. Money talk bullshit, walk 1,000 miles, man. That's just something we've been saying for a long time. And I think, though, but it's easier to fall back on the comforts of, I can't advance because of my race or the whole world against me, instead of changing the perspective. And so, you know, but I think, you know, I don't know what it's going to take to change that mentality. I don't know what it's going to take to fix it. But, hey, you know, those, I think, that wake up and see it, you see that they change. And it's why I say, you know, I look at a lot of these, and I start when I start seeing something, I start looking at a lot of these, you know, black Republicans, some of these guys, you know, your elders and some of your other guys, and why they think. But do you notice how it seems like all of those guys are successful, even though they're not complaining about the system and all this? But when they not complaining about the system, like you said, it's coon, it's this, but they living well, they doing well, they not getting beat up by the police, they not in these neighborhoods. It's like, why is that? And the only difference that I can see is not skin tone, it's mentality. And it's the way you approach the mentality. And once your mentality changes, I think the game changes for you. You know, I think you get to play by a different set of rules. You know, if you got some rules you impose on yourself that ain't even real, so you limiting your ability. But when you see past that, I think things change up for you, man.
Man, you know what, Honcho, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, bro, because I say this a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? And until you change yourself, don't nothing around you change. When I was in law school, man, my mentor drove a S56 Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if y'all know what S56 is. That's a V12 Benz. 4-door, the seats are hand-stitched. Car drive itself. Probably about $160,000 car, almost $200,000 car. He told me something that really said with me. He said, man, you know what? People see my car all the time. They always like, man, what kind of Benz is that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what year is that? Or how much it cost you? He said, you know what no one has ever asked me? I said, what? They never asked me what it took for me to get this car. They never asked me what sacrifices I made to get this car. Because no one cares about the grind. They only care about the shine. Ain't nobody asked me what the note on the motherfucker was. All they cared about was what year was it, how much I paid for it, and because they never seen one like this before. And that's who we are as people. We'll see everybody, all this nice shit, and all we care about is the glitz and the glam of it. We ain't talking about the sacrifice that went into that shit. And until we start appreciating the grind of what it takes to get to the top, we'll never get there. We'll never get there. LeBron James takes 2,000 jumpers to make one jumper in the game. If he made 20 jumpers that day in the game, how many shots did it take him to get to that point? Until you willing to put up 2,000 shots to make that one shot, you ain't gonna never have nothing. And that's just the way it works. And that's just hard work, and that's just life. I'm done. Y'all be blessed. Fuck with me.
Nah, I really appreciate it. Interesting. And that's my ultimate view. No, that's not nice. What are the Rockets doing there? See, the Rockets was listening to the call. They wasn't focused on the game like they supposed to be. It's all right. They're going to come back, though. Man, let me see where we at. Okay, we got calling in. Hold on. I saw somebody call, but then the call disappeared, so we're taking this call. What's the motherfucking deal, man? We got calling in to the den this evening.
Miss your boy Rambo one more time.
Already. Roman, what you want to drop on the den line this evening?
Man, I'm just saying, man, everything Pretty said was right, man. I mean, it's true. You know, I mean, I'm not going to over here argue and say, you know, I mean, we do have to get better as people. We have to make a change for ourselves. I've always said that. You've heard me say that before, Honcho. You know, we can't rely on the government for every situation of everything we want. You know, and that's true, man. If you look at a lot of these neighborhoods, man, I mean, going to Sterling and Scargo, man, I can't tell you how many girls that just 18, 19, 17 already got children. Hell, some got 2. Yeah. That's sad. You know, and I know barely any daddies come up to the front office. None but mamas. Struggling. You know, I mean, that's a problem. It's a problem for our men growing up, our boys growing up, for our females growing up. You know, a man holds the household. He's the leader. He's the protector. He is the, you know, he's the producer. He's everything. You know, and the thing is, you need him for a boy and a girl, because you need him for a boy to teach him how to be a man when he grows up. You need a girl for the support. You know, to know that she'll always be protected. You know, and when you don't got that, man, that breaks the house down. You know, a woman can only do so much. And some women are stronger than others. And some women have done a damn good job, like my mother myself, done a damn good job raising, you know, kids a lot of time by herself. But you know, goddamn it, you need a man, you know? So that was an excellent point. And my last point, man, I feel like with the politics, Democrats and Republicans, man, like I say, I always go back to George Washington, man. He said the best, man, don't make any political parties. And I understand why you need political parties, because eventually, you know, you got two sides of government that don't agree with different situations and bills and all that. But, man, I feel like the country would be better if we could find a solution of all and stop running against each other. I feel like we kill each other, you know? And I always have a problem with that, man. I'm like, at the end of the day, we're the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. Man, let's run together and stop. I feel like most times we fight against each other. Man, we're talking about impeaching the president, man. What the fuck? You know, I mean, we over here talking about Russian spies and you know, all sorts of situations. So it's like, what? Nothing is getting solved to help anybody. You know, I mean, it's still shootings. It's still killings. It's still money not getting to the right places they're supposed to be getting to, man. If we can all just find a way to agree about a situation, man, it could get done. You know, at the end of the day, if Trump can get off of Twitter, stop talking about all this situation, we could get more done. You know what? If we could just finally figure out if the man is guilty or not, but with this Mueller report, then we can finally keep moving on. At the end of the day, we are trying to move as a country, and right now we ain't moving. We stepping back. I'm talking about not just for blacks. I'm talking for the whole country itself. You know, so like I said, and when it comes to this, when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, man, like I think they both crooked. I think they both don't care. You know, I think they both is about your vote. You know, I feel like Republicans, money. You know, Democrats, they play for emotion. You know, and it's sad for a lot of times. Well, with black people, they do pull off the emotions. You can't always listen to that, man. You know, I watched that townhouse with all the Democratic candidates that's gonna be, man. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, man. I seen nothing but talking about emotion and emotion and emotion. Yeah, you can talk about emotions, but what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have a wall? Are we not? Are we gonna do something about these terrorists? What are we gonna do about the government and the tax and all the trillions of debt it's in? You know, are we gonna find out the fun in neighborhoods? I mean, come on, it's other situations. Yeah. Are we gonna have I mean, let's don't get it twisted. America's one of the worst education systems in the world. But we're supposed to be the greatest city. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. But we're one of the worst in education. That sounds weird to me. Why we ain't funding money more than that? That's what I mean. We ain't working together as a country, Democrat or Republican. So my point is this. Make do for yourself. You go out there and you work hard for yourself and you get you that right job. You provide for your family. You be a real man and don't be this bitch-ass nigga and go run off. No, don't have these kids hella young. Have the kids when you know you're stable. When you know you got the money to provide for them, where they can eat, where you can get clothes on their back, where you can give them diapers. When you can do that, you're a man, and that's all you gotta do. Provide for your family. When you provide for your family, man, that's all you do, man. And when it comes to politics, personally with me, man, I really don't give it. I'm starting not to give a damn about anybody, but who you want to vote for. So this is my last call for tonight, man.
Already, man. I appreciate your call there, Roman.
Man, anytime, man. These rockers getting their ass, and I'm old head irritated.
Nah, that's all good. No worries.
Yeah, I mean, if we do lose, man, we'll be in game 5, but it's still time left. So I'm gonna get off the line, man. I'm talking to you later, Honcho.
All right, appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right. And when it comes to with them kids, like I said, I talk about that's part of this over sexualization of our culture. When we talking about so many motherfuckers having kids young, and like Prepaid was talking about that generational wealth. You can't have generational wealth when you too young to know. I mean, you ain't got a basic education. You ain't got GED knowledge, and you having kids, and then popping out another one and then another one. I see this call coming in, and we're gonna take this last call. When it, I don't know why I cut short the call back. We'll take that last call, and then I'll probably get on the mixer action for a few minutes, and then get ready to wind it down. So, well, hold on. Let me see what's going on here. It keep. What is it? Is it me? Because I see the calls coming in, but then they go out. Give me a second. Let's do it like this. Hold on. Because for some, like look, we ain't afraid. We gonna do it like this. Okay, hold on. All right, we gonna make it shake like this because for some reason the calls kept cutting out. I seen you calling in. All right, what's the motherfucking deal? What you want to drop? What you want to drop on the line? You have
First off, I would like to address old hating ass Broderick. Let me tell you something, nigga. That man, Prepaid, just called in and laid down a gauntlet of motherfucking truth. Except for one thing that he was wrong on.
Okay.
And I'm going to correct him in a minute. I said everything I said, and you said that I didn't say anything that was logical. When Prepaid called, he didn't refute anything I said. He just went into further detail. Okay? So we was agreeing. All right? I didn't say everything he said. I was speaking more of through a broad point of view. But as for Mr. Prepaid, the one thing that you were wrong about, but you were partially right at the same time, but you just don't have you do have my view, but you just didn't hit on that subject, was the us killing each other versus the cops killing each other thing. You know what the difference is. So why you didn't say it, I don't know. The difference is if Pookie shoot Ray Ray, Pookie go to prison. If Officer Jaworski shoot Ray Ray, he get paid administrative leave. That's the fucking difference. Because you can see, you absolutely right when you say, damn, niggas be tripping. Or niggas be on that bullshit. You right, we do. But that nigga is in prison now. He's not out here walking around doing exactly what the fuck he was doing before then, like nothing ever happened. So yeah, that's a fucking problem. Not saying that the killing ain't a problem in the first place. Absolutely, but at least there should be a punishment for the fucking crime. Most of the time, there's no fucking punishment. That's the problem. And the only reason that he's not being punished is because he wears a badge. Throw the race shit out the window. Because it could be a nigga cop killing a nigga too. Same shit.
Okay. And that's the only discrepancy that you
Hey,
that you have?
To be honest with you, pretty much. But the one thing that y'all just don't seem to want to acknowledge, because even Project again, well, why don't we try supporting the president? It's hard for you to support somebody you fundamentally don't like.
But why
y'all
realize why don't niggas like him?
Well, because of him and who he is. So see, here's the deal. Y'all got to understand what times we living in right now. Not to say that it's the best of times, and not to say that it's the worst of times. Because there's some things that have gotten better, and some shit that's getting just to the point of it's so insignificant, but it's starting to become significant that makes it ridiculous. People, the sensitivity of people are at an all-time high nowadays. So the comment, like I mentioned earlier, about him saying there's fine people on both sides, it pissed me off. I didn't like it, but that don't mean I hate the man.
Yeah.
I just didn't like what he had to say. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time, other people don't let that go like I do. They focus on that one thing, that one wrong thing, and they let that affect everything that happens after that. That's what the difference is. They just don't like him. And I agree with Prepaid Mike 1,000%, but I'll make it even simpler. if you had evidence that this motherfucker was doing this collusion or breaking all these laws, he would have been out of. It had been this fucking long. So obviously you ain't got shit. You just trying to drudge up anything you can. Again, and I'm gonna reiterate again, I don't give a fuck about the Republicans, and I don't give a fuck about the Democrats either. I don't care either way, because I agree with some of what the Republicans think in certain instances, and some of what the Democratic guys may think in certain instances. It just depends on the situation and what exactly are we talking about. But I can't refute anything else Prepaid Mike said. Everything he said was precise and on point. Now, I will give him this. He got me on the bill that Trump passed about the people getting released. I looked it up right after he mentioned it, and he right. So I'll admit I didn't have all the facts on that one. So shout out to Prepaid Mike. I can admit when I'm wrong or when I didn't know something, but I only go with what I knew just generally off top. I typically don't delve into a lot of shit. So I took it at face value. Hey, he got me on that one. So I'll take that. But, and I reiterate, oh hating ass Broderick, Mr. HAB himself, all that man was, all he did was go into detail about what I was already saying. So we're in agreement. I was saying true, you were saying facts. So what it is you believe the same shit that I believe. It's just that I look at the bigger picture differently. Because I'm just tired of people so concerned about, well, the Democrats ain't do this. The Democrats ain't do. Fuck what the Democrats doing. What are you gonna do? What's the plan? Where we going? And they saying, well, I bet you can't nobody tell you what the Democrats got going. No, I haven't heard anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm honest. The only thing I've heard is reparations. I'm like, that's not even being. That's the only thing.
And that's stupid. Like, come on, bro. It's too late for that. It just don't make no sense. Number one, how much are you supposed to give, and who you gonna give it to? What qualifies you? And then you go to the whole thing is what makes a person a black person. Like, you know how fucking, oh my God, it's too much for that. It would take for us forever to try to settle on some shit. Nobody's ever gonna be happy. It's never gonna be anywhere near accurate, and it's really just not necessary. All we need now, like you say, Honcho, is the opportunity to do the shit for ourselves. As long as you don't keep me from my opportunity, I ain't got too much to complain about. Point blank, period. And for the record, the biggest problem in the hood is niggas doing nigga shit. If niggas get to the point where they stop doing nigga shit, we'll be all right.
That encompasses a whole lot of shit, though. Nigga shit is a...
Yes, it does. But and what's funny is each and every one of you niggas know what nigga shit is. And if you don't consider yourself a nigga, if you a black person, like again, I reiterate, inside of every black person is a nigga. Every black person knows what nigga shit is, too. Because you've seen it, probably partook in it once or twice in your lifetime, or maybe a little bit more than that. So we all know what it is, but a lot of us eventually learn, hey, man, you know what? This shit's stupid. Yeah. We need to cut this bullshit out. But some of us never learn that. They end up dying because of it, or they grow old doing it. And that's the sad part. Some of us never learn.
I agree.
And they refuse to learn, which is even worse. So... shout out to Prepaid Mike. He had the call of the night by far. By far.
He came
shout out to him.
He came in with the RKO, the people's elbow, the rock bottom, and everything. He just laid it down. I mean, that's what I say. Ain't nothing too much you can say besides
man,
that.
If you disagree with anything that man said, I don't know what world you living in.
Yeah, you're an agent.
Yeah.
You trying to undermine some shit if you ain't agreeing with that, man. So,
Jesus Christ.
I agree.
Even if I was a Democrat, it would be real hard to refute anything he said. I was sitting up here just like, okay, if I was just trying to counter his argument, how would I do it? I couldn't think of shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, it's something that I would say because it just makes too much sense.
Yeah.
A lot of the shit that we doing right now is just so nonsensical. Yeah. And even the Democrats, I want to say even. And I give this one to Project. You know, you wasn't hating on this. You said the Democrats are just focused on beating Trump instead of fixing the problems. Yeah. He's absolutely fucking right. Yeah. He's absolutely right. Can't argue with that one either, brother. So shout out to you for saying that, because that's real too. And that's basically what I've been saying. Fuck your political affiliation. Fix the shit.
Yeah, I can agree. And shit, how much? And so with this no collusion, with this report, if everything comes out like I say in his favor, so that means they done wasted a good 2 years of when they could have really been doing some shit.
For what?
It's
When they could have been putting them resources to use to helping our people out, to fixing this. Here we go. The biggest problem with our country as a whole is education.
Yeah.
Number one, the schools aren't. The curriculum isn't good enough. Two, the curriculum sets you up to be in debt. And then after you graduate, the regular free public school, they send you to college to literally put you in the fucking debt. I don't understand that. I don't. I really, really don't. They don't teach you shit about finances. They teach you how to multiply, add, subtract, divide, and all that shit. They'll even teach you fucking trigonometry.
Yeah.
But won't teach you how to balance a checkbook. Won't teach you shit about fucking credit. To me, that's more important than the fucking the measurement of the hypotenuse of an equilateral triangle.
True, it is though. I mean, stuff that everybody gonna have to deal with in life, as opposed to information that only a few will end up having to utilize in their day-to-day existence. I agree that there are a lot of things that need to be explained, because contrary to certain people's belief, it's certain people, especially like how I'm tied into what Prepaid was saying about when you having kids young, right? And you don't have that basic information to pass on. So yeah, they don't understand how to balance finances. A lot of people in America, they say the majority of Americans live in check to check. And so if you had some understanding, even basic, minimal understanding, that you're not getting at home. Because yeah, some people get taught that at home. The people who, their parents know how to manage money and they doing all right from, their parents gonna teach them that shit at young. But everybody's not getting that. And so I do agree that some people definitely need that type of education, how to handle money. I mean, what it is. Money is a tool, and not a prize. And then figure out how to use that money and let that money work for you and do those kind of things. But, the information's out there. That's ultimately where I think it gets to a point where you got to want it. You know what I'm saying? We understand where it lacks. And again, but I mean, I know that everybody has access to it, but it's about where you focus your attention. Because now, I mean, you can get that information on the tube, you can get that information on this, that, and the third. But that's why I get I'm more harping on, we gotta just want better as a whole, because we know what's lacking. What are we gonna do to resolve that issue?
And therein lies, bro, because everybody's got a different way of doing it. But just to be all out honest with you, is the kids. The kids is gonna have to do better. They're gonna have to want to do better. But if we don't teach them that there is a better way, and that they should want to do better, they're gonna be just as lost as a lot of us.
Yeah.
And the problem is, a lot of us that we want to put feeling good over something like gratification. We putting satisfaction ahead of gratification. Like, that's why motherfuckers is all strung out all in these drugs. All they want to do is go out and party because they want to feel good all the time. They want to ride that high all the time. But the grind, like the man was saying, and oh my God, when he said that shit, I almost said hallelujah, and I don't even go to church. I swear to God, I've had this same conversation with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a nice car, had some rims, some beat and all that shit. And motherfuckers, my little brothers pull up, oh man, that motherfucker clean, man. How much all that shit cost you? He was right. And I was like, they never asked what it took to get all this shit. Like, you know how long I saved up to buy all this shit, nigga? You know how many times that I wanted to go to family functions and couldn't because I had to go my ass out there and go get this money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I missed a lot of shit that motherfuckers use for satisfaction, enjoyment, put that away for gratification, something that I worked my ass off for, that I earned. You know what I'm saying? None of this shit was given to me. None of this shit was free. I paid for it. And I earned the money that I used to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, man, and that's what the drug problem is. Motherfuckers want to be high all the time. They don't want to have to deal with life. But the grind is not a fun thing. It's not. There's no satisfaction in the grind until once you grind towards something. And once you reach that, you get the gratification of the satisfaction.
I agree, man. I agree 100%.
And it irritated me. Oh, man, I'm out here grinding. Nigga, you been out there for 2 days. Fuck is you talking about? There's no such thing as a 48-hour grind, my nigga. That's not what it is. Unless you like a doctor or something, you pulling a 48-hour shift, and yeah, that's a grind. You pulling 48 straight, and you literally helping folks. So yeah, I can kind of see that. But nigga, you out here selling some weed or some bullshit like that, man, get the fuck out my face. Oh my goodness, I get into it with my little brother all the time. Because he got this thing where he want to start out on a job and he want to make this certain amount of money instead of going, but this job is temporary. Yeah. Instead of going on a job that's permanent, you starting out lower, but you earning your way up to get that money. And that job is going on forever. And I keep trying to tell him, if you get this job, you won't have to worry about week to week whether you're going to be employed or not. You know what I'm saying? You will be employed, you be making less money, but it's going to add up further in the long run. Nah, he want this right now shit. This satisfaction shit. I need this right here to satisfy what I want right now. Not something that I'm going to appreciate in the long run. That's the problem. That's a huge problem with our people. We're real short-sighted. And I don't know if it's the fact that a lot of them don't think that they're going to survive that long or what. But I don't even know why you would even think like that. Yeah. I don't get it.
I agree. Yeah, again, I agree. It's the right now. It's that instant gratification. It's, it's not necessarily gratification, but instant satisfaction is definitely what we want, man. And that's a huge problem, and that's something that definitely needs to be discussed. I think we might have to throw that into a future episode of the Den. That's a topic all into itself.
Yeah, because that also goes into the dudes getting all these females pregnant. He wants this nut right now instead of strapping up and thinking about what are the consequences of this shit if I get her pregnant and we have a kid, how we going to take care of it, and yada, 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 et cetera. It's that instant fucking satisfaction that they're looking for. And they steadily chasing it in whatever form they can get it.
Yeah. I agree. Man, well, that's a bet, Mr. J. Dizzle, Mr. Professor Trill. I'm glad we can all find some common ground, and that's what makes the Den so great, that we grow as a community. We understand as a community. We might not always be 100% eye to eye, but I think ultimately when it comes down to it, we all want the same things. We just see different ways of attaining them. I think it's like that.
Oh, yeah. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Hashtag hating ass Broderick, hoe ass Honcho, ain't shit Heidi, and Rashida the Shark. Professor Trill out.
Already, man. That's a bit. Man. Prepaid, I see you, man. Come on, let's do the damn thing, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? We already went over a little bit. What's a few more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up after that. But here's my deal, man. And this is what I love about it. Because again, like I say, we may not all see eye to eye, but ultimately, I want to believe that we all want the same shit. What's going on? I don't know why this thing has been doing that. I see calling in, but then it's cutting out as soon as you call in. Look. Let me see. I don't know why it's doing that. Here, I don't know why it's doing that. Look, this I don't know what the issue is. I see people trying to call it in. Look. I do it like this. Look. We'll do it like this, babe. I don't know. I gotta check. It shouldn't be the timer. Already. What's the motherfucking deal, prepaid, man? What you want to drop in the Den?
Now look, y'all. This is just my observation. Y'all can fuck with it or not. But I think, and this is just me, I think Jay Dizzle may be a Republican. He may be a conservative.
Man.
Was y'all listening? Because I listen a lot. That's the one thing y'all going to learn about prepaid. When I call and I talk my shit, but I listen a lot, bro.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you.
Professor Trill, I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I see some leanings, I see some leanings.
I'm just saying it. And can I make an astute observation I picked up on?
Okay.
You made a point about us not knowing how to balance a checkbook and us not knowing about credit. Dizzle, that's a sign of growth right there, my nigga. Because nobody in the hood knew how to balance a checkbook. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think when we go off to college we fuck our money off so bad? If you can't budget $100, you damn sure can't budget $1,000. You can't budget $1,000. Guess what happens when you give a nigga a $10,000 refund check? This nigga done bought so much Reggie, he ain't enough days in the week to smoke the shit. This is what happens to us, bro, because that's a part of the growth that's not there. But see, Dizzle, if you bring it up right now, that's telling you the growth. That means that when you have kids, which I know you say you wasn't married, when you got kids, your son and daughter will never have that problem. Your son and daughter will never have to worry about them being 25 years old and find out what a FICO score means. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we 30 years old, just find out what credit is. Niggas try to go buy a house, you can have all the dope money in the world. You can have all the cash. They're not going to sell you shit. Credit report, credit history. You have to have a history of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, to get on topic of what Dizzle was saying, Dizzle, I don't call in and call people wrong. It got to be some real blatant shit for me to just call a nigga out. You know what I'm saying? That's just not me as a person. Because if you live in your truth, you live in your truth, and I'm going to respect your truth as such. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'll correct you, but I'm not one of those people in your face. I'm not into arguing type shit because I'm about educating, bro. Because I learn from y'all the same way I learn from y'all and y'all learn from me. That's the way it's supposed to. That's how the damn works. But let me put you on game about how this whole police brutality whole thing works. For anybody who don't know, and you can look this up for yourself, cops have something called immunity, okay? Cops operate out of something called imminent danger. So, for example, I named 6 places where pretty much Democratic cities, okay? New Orleans, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, Flint, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, Baltimore, Maryland, Chicago, Illinois, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay. When an officer goes to North Philly compared to going to somewhere, let's say, Pittsburgh, North Philly is considered a red area. If any of y'all have any family law enforcement, confirm it with it. It's called a red area. Red area means high crime. Okay. What they do is they take kind of like a census. The cops take like a census and they put all the stuff into a database. If it's one thing cops do, cops track crime very well. It's probably the only thing they do correct in America, but they track this shit. This is what they do, okay? If you live in a high crime area and a cop is called to a red area, okay, they have the right to protect themselves and the protection of others who are in imminent danger. So when they come to your neighborhood where y'all are constantly robbing, shooting, and killing each other, they're going to have their guns drawn already. I'm asking this question. I know a lot of y'all have seen this video. Have anybody seen the video of Alton Sterling, who got killed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Yeah. He got killed in one of the worst areas in America, Scotlandville, which is called the Bottom in Baton Rouge. That's where Boosie from, the Bottom. That area is one of the most high crime areas in America. It's flat out horrible. You know what I'm saying? When these cops come to this area, guns are drawn because 2 days before that, people don't know this, in the same area where Alton Sterling got killed, it was a triple homicide right there. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. Now let me explain to you why they're not getting convicted of these crimes, quote unquote. Y'all hear about a black person getting killed. Y'all don't wait for all the evidence. Y'all don't wait for the videos come out. Alton Sterling reached for his weapon. He got killed. I'm not justifying that. I want to be very clear. I don't justify nobody getting their life taken. But he's a convicted felon with a firearm. The cops got called and said the man had a gun on him. When they got here, he had a gun on him. You are a convicted felon. You cannot have a firearm. Period. Something that a lot of y'all don't know also is that the day before that, he had a gun on him again. The cops came and took the gun from him. You cannot keep breaking the law. You cannot do it. Now, I'm not justifying terrible cops. I'm not doing that. But what I'm telling y'all is y'all don't wait for all the facts to come out. I'm going to say something going to ruffle a lot of feathers. You know what I'm saying? Mike Brown didn't get killed the way they say he got killed. Mike Brown DNA was on the gun, on the officer's gun, which tells you that Mike Brown didn't get shot in the back. He was charging the cops. Now, I'm not telling you that's the justification of it, but if you're an officer and you have immunity and you were fearing for your life, that's the justification of the shit. It don't matter if you feel like it's right. It's the law. It's the world we live in. Now let's get down to the fundamental reason why cops are doing this shit. Let me explain something to y'all. Think about a cop, how you view a school teacher, okay? I got badass kids, you know what I'm saying? They bad as fuck. It's not a bad, they're not going to go to school and tap your shit. My kids are very smart, so you got to keep their attention span, okay? If I want my teacher to teach, if I want a teacher to teach my kids something such as math, if this woman is making $25,000 a year and she got to go work at Walmart when she get off work, she can't teach my kids. They too fucking bad for that. You got to have patience to teach my kids. You got to have the tools to teach my kids. Y'all want cops who make $35,000 a year. These niggas work 12-hour shifts, get off their job, and go be the motherfucking security guard at HEB at night. Then they go be the security guard at the motherfucking club. And y'all are wondering why these motherfuckers are so tired and so fed up when they get called to your house for you having domestic violence, for beating up your old lady again. Think about what's going on in America. Has anybody thought about that? Here's a better idea. If y'all decide to lock up all the cops who committed crime, let's say you want to lock up a cop who shot an unarmed person, even though they're in the right, who gonna take that nigga's spot? Honcho, I know motherfucking well you ain't finna go out there and risk your life for $38,000 before taxes. Fuck no. Let me tell y'all something right now. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all niggas. And I got 6 guns myself. I'm on some John Wick type shit. I can defend myself versus anybody when it comes to these hammers in this house. Yeah. Let me tell you something. You could pay me $100,000 in cash. I ain't finna go be no motherfucking cop. Motherfucker is crazy. The shit these niggas deal with on a daily basis is some shit out of a comic book. Bro, y'all think about this. Look at the crime y'all have and you see on the news. That's only 1 or 2% that's actually going on. Mm-hmm. All these niggas ain't getting caught. 16, 17-year-old niggas walking around with AK-47s, man. Extended clip Uzis and shit. Do you want to be around these motherfuckers? I don't. And the wild part is that y'all don't want to talk about, look at the fucking drugs these niggas on. Exactly. I was in a barbershop, a nigga who was on heroin was walking and passed out at the middle of his walk. Just passed the fuck out. Was walking, talking to us, and just passed out. I mean, dead, like, his body was like a board, bro. This is a 16-year-old kid in high school. Like, do y'all really want to be out there in law enforcement with that shit? So until we start being real and be honest about what's going on with our police enforcement, ain't nothing gonna change. These motherfuckers don't have adequate training. You know they don't. When was they gonna have time to go do all that shit? We in the H. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you're not familiar with Houston, don't come to Houston thinking this shit Myrtle Beach out here. Ain't no white sands out here, bro. We ain't the Myrtle capital because this motherfucker's so big. Niggas get knocked off around this bitch every day. Literally. If you live in Acres Home, Greenspoint area, I know for sure you ain't went to sleep without hearing a gunshot.
And if I'm not mistaken,
this is what's really going on.
If I'm not mistaken, for it to be registered as a murder, you got to have a body, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
all them bodies, and you know them Jamaicans after Katrina happened, you know a lot of Jamaican niggas was making heads get chopped off. A lot of niggas were disappearing around here. Them bodies never got discovered. So guess what? That don't get registered, bro. A lot of crime you don't hear about, but that's what's really going on, dog. And until we decide to be real about what's going on with the cops, ain't nothing gonna change. Now I will say this, and this is something that legislation needs to be pushed. And this is something just me telling y'all. I believe an officer should have to live in the area where he's a cop at. You shouldn't be able to live in the Woodlands. You're trying to go be a motherfucking cop in 3rd Ward.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because that means every time you come, you try to come smoke something. You want to go kill a nigga every time you show up to this motherfucker. Yeah. You live in a peaceful area. If you want to be a motherfucker, be seen and be a person who's defending these people, and because an officer is a peace officer. He's a person of the people. Nigga, live your ass over here too. Because if you get tired of hearing these motherfucking gunshots all night, maybe some shit around here will change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me as a person. Now, look, I want to be very clear on this, y'all. I'm not defending the cops, bro. I'm not. But I will tell y'all something else. I ain't worried about no cop killing me. I don't never wake up and be like, damn, I might not make it home. Nigga, laws might smoke me today. That's not a concern for me. I do, however, worry about niggas trying to rob me. I do have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, I'm going somewhere, you know what I'm saying, doing something, I make the wrong turn, and if in a place I ain't supposed to be, shit can get real for a nigga. That's why I got so many guns for myself. But you can sit up here and make it seem like y'all care so much about police brutality all you want to. That's what the media wants you to focus on. They want you to make it seem like that shit, that's what's really going on. I can name Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Freddie Gray. I can name these people. ounces sterling. It's only like 15 of them motherfuckers in the last 3-4 years. How many black bodies that sit up in them cemeteries, though? Black on black crime. How many in there? Until you start valuing the niggas who got killed by other black people, don't none of this shit matter. Don't nothing change. That's it for me. Oh, yeah, and Mr. Strawberry, listen, man. I'm telling y'all, I want y'all all the way for your reparations. I'm going to process them myself. Me and Honcho are going to send them to y'all on the 33rd of February. We're going to process them. They're going to have y'all name and everything on them. It's going to be $40,000 because you ain't getting 40 acres and a mule. I don't even know how you can get a mule at this point. Ain't a mule like a donkey and horse mix?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we're going to get y'all some ox. We can get y'all an ox like Paul Bunyan rode. We're going to get you $40,000 in the ox. So I want all y'all to send Honcho y'all address. We're going to get the reparations pushed out tonight. They're going to be ready for February 33rd, okay?
Yeah.
Y'all be blessed.
I already prepaid. Appreciate it, man. Man, look, Jack. And that's all I'm saying, man. Look, and I'm telling y'all, this is from a motherfucker who done had a couple of run-ins. And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to tell y'all some shit. And I look at it like this. Only time that I've ever been drew down on in my interactions with the law, we'll wrap it up on that one. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all get a little bonus 30 minutes. There was some good calls going on there. I saw some other folks trying to call me in, but you know, we usually try to hit that 2-hour break, but we got on some pretty good shit. Only time I was ever drawn down on in my instances that I've had interactions was by black cops. And I'm not saying that to really be anything because we always make it a racial issue. I'm telling you, I've had some interaction with laws a few times. And this is what changed my perspective on shit, you know, and these were situations where, you know, I was in the wrong. I'll admit that. And this is why, you know, I think when you become self-aware of things, you can realize your mistakes, and that's how you try to grow and improve off of them. But I don't sit here and I don't label all cops. Yes, some fucked up shit that goes on. I always think there's a deeper tale to the story, and I don't like comparing this situation to that situation. Like I saw, you know, Mr. Rasheed saying, you know, well, they brought this guy in safe and sound, but they killed this guy. It's not the same set of cops, you know what I mean? And so that's why I look at it differently. Like, with this cop and his beliefs, he might be racist, he might be this, that, and other. He ends up handling this situation. There might be another set of cops that may feel a particular way, but they end up handling this situation. So I don't look at it like, well, these cops did this, or this cop and this, you know, in California did some shit, these cops in Florida did something different. That's why I can't look at it like that. All I can say is from my personal experiences, and I think I've told this story before, was one time I got caught up on some stuff for a situation I was in, you know, and it could have been some extra issues for me because I was being goofy and you know, I ain't gonna talk about all the details, but I had a little something extra on me that I probably shouldn't have when I arrived at the facilities. And you know, it was discovered and by the jailer or whatnot. And because of me handling the situation with the respect that, you know, those two gentlemen, like I say, they said, like, look, man, you ain't make it hard on us, because they was smaller than me, and he's like, man, we saw your profile, we was kind of, ain't gonna lie, we was a little intimidated, you know, like, hey, man, he looked like Richard Sherman, or he looked like such and such. But, you know, I didn't make a big deal about it. Like I said, I knew eventually I was gonna have to pay dues for that, so it was what it was. Man, they made that whole thing evaporate, you know, and it could have went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a much tougher situation. If they was really all racist, they would have been more than happy to throw that on. You know, hey, you know, if you believe they're getting them quotas and whatever, they've been more than happy to throw that on there. But, you know, I think that these people, they encounter so much. You know what I'm saying? I think they encounter so much. I think they go through so much. Because you got to think about it. Like I said, I don't know any of y'all ever been in jail, even spent a night in jail or whatever. There's some throwed off motherfuckers in there. Somebody had to bring them motherfuckers in, man. Somebody had to bring them motherfuckers in. You don't want to deal with them bitches while you're in there, the little crazy motherfuckers. Somebody had to bring them people in, man. And so you can only imagine what they went through to do it. Because you see how motherfuckers be acting in that bitch. So if they in the free world, before they get there, you can tell it was even more of a problem. Man, it's a thankless job. It's a tough job. You know, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm going to be straight up with you. I wouldn't do it. You know, now you do got some of them getting these jobs. They some adrenaline junkies. You know, they in it for the action and everything else. I think you get a lot of them that go into this job with specific intentions to do right. I think though, after a while, you can get corrupted either by the day-to-day operations, or it could be, you know, older people on the force who may, you know, do this, that, and the third. But look, Jack, you know, I'm gonna keep it real, and like I said, this is being on the wrong side of it. I can't ever sit here and say, "Oh man, you know, laws did this for me. They helped me out in this situation, and man, they saved me." And this, I don't think I got a story like that I can tell. This is for me being on the wrong side and really just being, you know, observant of the situation, taking my emotions and my feelings and my part out of it. Because it's easy to say, "Oh man, they fucked me over." Nah, but you fucked yourself over because you was doing the shit. You just got caught, you know, and just looking at it. And again, because I told you I was watching some videos the other day, and just shit, routine traffic stops. Motherfuckers get shot. They, you know, you walking up the car thinking you doing something you've done 1,000 times. That'd be the time a motherfucker roll down that window and unleash and unload on your motherfucking ass, you know. Or it was a dude trying to help get some dude out of this lady yard or whatever, you know. And to me, to the untrained eye, I was like, okay, well, what's going on? You know, you're like, hey, you know, get your hand out your pocket for me, man. Get your hand out your pocket for me, man. And in a second, old buddy tried to draw down on him, cop unloaded on him and shit, you know. But that's your life in a second. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And some corrupt like a motherfucker. Some of these motherfuckers the ones putting the drugs back in the hood. I was telling you, I was in some shit. Motherfuckers, they the ones helping set up. They got partners selling the dope. They, you know, setting up these little things and with these fake arrests, and they taking the dope and pushing it right back to the nigga they acted like they. I mean, it's a whole bunch of shit that goes on, man. It's definitely a whole bunch of shit that happens, man. You know what I'm saying? But all right, Bill. It's like I say, you know, but what it comes down to is we got to realize, man, it's not the character of the career. It's not the character of the profession. It's the character of the individual, man. It's the character of the individual, period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm not, it is what it is. And I've had my situations. Fortunately, maybe just for me, they worked out well. Like I say, you know, once you jammed up, ain't no point causing a bunch of flack for shit. You know, just do the shit, try to do what you got to do as smoothly as you can, and get on with it. But in anything that you look at, from politicians, like I say, fuck all of them, you know, from politicians to policing to motherfuckers who do paperwork, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be people who are fucked up, who going to fuck you over. It's going to be people who going to be pretty good, they're going to help you out, man. I agree. You know, look, you don't want no unnecessary interactions because things can go bad quite quickly. To come clean up the scene, you feel me? But yeah, man, like I say, you know, it is what it is. Now, like I say, but you know, I'm not looking at it in a particular kind of way. Again, like I say, I ain't hating on nobody. But I like to think about things that we can control. And I'm gonna make this last note, and I'm gonna slide off of here. Like I say, probably get on the mixer and get on some shenanigans for a little bit. My thing is, I look at it like this, man. What we can control, what we should be able to control, we can't control each other, but where we can operate is within our own communities. And if we can start changing the way we approach each other, we approach ourselves, it makes us better for where it's most important. We see all this national shit. Oh, nigga got shot in California. I'm not in California. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really impact me as much as the nigga who I know that got shot or robbed or whatever from the nigga, you know, the two niggas I might have went to school with or whatever else. So what I'm saying is you got to start at your local level, what's closest to you, and try to make a greater change instead of we get so focused and caught up on shit going on way over here, going on way over there. You know, and the crazy thing what really started changing my mind about a lot of shit was that Black Lives Matter group, because when they used all them niggas' names and it's to promote a gay agenda, they're supposed to be black and LGBT. So I'm bringing it all together. Y'all ain't see it coming, but I'm bringing it all together. When we talk about all these niggas who got shot and killed, you can talk about the police involvement and everything. How the fuck did all these people get to these places? They ain't have no jobs, man. They ain't have no motherfucking... They have no like how are these motherfuckers flying out to Michigan? How the fuck they fucking they get into these places where all this shit's going on by the thousands? You know what I'm saying? Like, who got time to do this? 3, 4, 5 days, spending weeks at a time in these places. And so that shit started making me look at shit differently. This ain't soft sports tomorrow, so I'll talk about that shit later, man. But, man, you know, let's end it on a good note. And with that being said, like I said, I know some of y'all was trying to get in, and I appreciate everybody who was trying to call. But man, we'll be back at it tomorrow, as it always is. Same damn time, same damn channel. Man, hey, look, Jack. This ain't Soft Sports. This ain't Soft Sports TV. We'll talk about them motherfuckers tomorrow. And with that being said, hey, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Edwin Main Baptiste. Shout out to Miss V Darko. I appreciate the Benjamin Love. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to all the callers, man. Hey. I'm going to watch the video, man, and we will talk about the video. All right? I got y'all. I got you. Yeah, I'm going to check out that little Witcher 3 since y'all recommended. I'm going to jump on it and see what it's all about for a little bit, since everybody talking about this the greatest game of this generation and all that other shit. So I'm going to look at it for a little bit and see what it is. But with that being said, man, I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Hey, look, Jack, y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all should already be home. It's late and shit. But y'all do got to get the fuck up out of here. And I'm gone. What y'all doing? Y'all can come chop it up, talk some shit on the mixer action. I'm going to be over there for a little bit. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Fuck with your boy. I'm out.